Hello, guys. Or good evening for a change. It's 9 p.m. Australian time, and I know all our American people are probably sound asleep, but I'm shaking. I'm horrified. I'm excited. I just had to share this. Thank you for all coming in. I don't even know where to start, but I've stumbled across this lady. Her name's Ziggy, and she didn't directly say who her source is, but you don't have to be a rocket science person to work out that her source obviously works for CPS. She's really, really nervous when she did her video, and I can understand why. So the first few minutes, she's sort of dealing with her own nerves, but I think you've got to listen to that side of it to get the emotion that she has now got to speak about. And I think that's important as well, and to give her justice for what she's doing by getting this information out to us. It makes sense to me now after Don Buchanan's video a couple of weeks ago, where he stated that the boys or the kids were physically abused as they were punched, kicked, thrown in the basement, locked in the basement, and it's very confronting, guys, so there's a trigger warning if anyone. But everything that we've been talking about for the last 85 days or 86 days, just about everything we have all talked about, and that we could all see, guess what? We were on the money. Anyway, I'll just say a quick hello to everyone. Emerald Flower, hello. Ladybug, Lisa Donahue, hi Karen. So it's afternoon. Where's it afternoon? Are you in the UK, Karen? Leonie Williams. Yeah, I don't think, going by this, I couldn't wait till tomorrow to do this. I just think everyone should know, because I actually feel it's weird that you feel a bit excited but sad at the same time, but I can't wait till tomorrow to put this out, because I think anyone who's awake would be the same as me and want to know now, sort of thing. I said hi to Ladybug. Crime and Justice, good morning. See, it's crazy to me. There's morning people, there's afternoon people. 12 noon in Ireland. Oh my God, it's crazy, isn't it? So I've worked out that there's no perfect time to come on. Sometimes I think, this will be a good time. I come on and there's nobody around. Hi, Lisa from Australia. Awesome. So anyway, I'll stop talking for a minute. 6:04 a.m. That's what time I got up this morning. My God. I've never been an early riser until the last 2 weeks with this case. And I wake up several times during the night, just check my phone for notifications, roll back over and go to sleep. And I've never been one to do that. So, okay, guys, I'm going to play it. And what's the mood in Tennessee regarding Summer's disappearance? I think it's coming any day. Honestly, 'cause, 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 'cause after you hear this, you will think the same thing, I think.
Wells and Candus not failing their or not passing their lie detector test, and also not passing their blood test for drugs. Okay, I can't share who this
thanks, Lisa.
person is. They're very worried about getting in trouble.
Yeah.
And I would never, so please no one message or email me and ask me, not that I think any of you guys would that are here right now, but please don't
Morning,
rush me.
Ashley.
I'd have to be tortured to give up.
Hi, Jen.
Ruin somebody's life and all the time and education that they had spent getting to where they are in life. And this is just some stuff that they can't keep to themselves. A lot of it's going to be, it's not directly related to the Summer Well case, but it's related to the parents. So indirectly, it's going to be, it could explain what could have happened this summer. Most of the stuff might be some things that you probably already felt intuitively or kind of assumed.
Little Ashley Marie.
But these are things
I need a smoke already, girl.
Will confirm some of that. Of course, I'm just a YouTuber that you don't know. And you still, I'm sure it will leave a little bit of doubt because you don't know me from Adam. So it made me sick to my stomach. I'm nervous, and I won't probably be looking at chat while I'm going over what she shared because it will get me distracted. I might share a few things and then go to chat, and then if I have time and able, I wanted to go over. I don't know if you guys saw it's Sweetie Pie Low. She shared the medium readings by Reverend Donna Serafina. Absolutely amazing.
We watched that this afternoon.
I know there's a lot of people that don't believe in that stuff, but wow, this lady's the real deal. And I wanted to show a few clips from that if we have time. It matters how much time it takes to get through this information. There's going to be a few things that are like, wow, okay. To me, I know maybe not so much to you guys, but to me it was because I know this person is the real deal. But you guys just, you just have to basically have faith in me that I'm being honest, because there are a lot of people that spread misinformation just to get views and whatever. But yeah, Melissa, this lady so bad wants people to know this information, but she doesn't know how without getting herself wrapped up into some situations. She spent a lot of time, and money and education to be able to get to where she is, and it's eating at her. She wants to be able to talk to people with it and get her off her chest. And I'm sure
better than I think we even thought, guys. Once she starts talking about this,
I don't know to what extent. So, hey everybody, hey Sarah, hey Melissa, April, and Ladybug. I appreciate you guys so much, and I appreciate you guys having faith in me that I am, being honest. And you're just gonna have to take me for my word. That's all I can say. There's just no more proof that I can give than beyond that. And I just got very lucky.
We need to support her
because she has mentioned anything to. It took some time for her to open up, but she was, she did.
For Ziggy, this was big, I think, emotionally.
About the drug screens, which, I've seen other channels mention they had crack cocaine in their system, and that.
Yeah, I've
But
heard
I didn't
that.
hear the meth thing with Don, and I think a lot of us assumed that Don and Candus didn't really pass I think they're taking their inconclusive test as a pass. I mean, because, hey, it's not a fail. I mean, it's better. But they were inconclusive on the guilty knowledge
I
part
know,
of the test,
Emerald.
for those of you that didn't know. And, okay, so let's get started. I'm not going to look at chat. Actually, I'm going to move it away from the screen. Yeah, it's like, oh my God, it made me so sick to my stomach. Because I was like, I didn't know. I don't ever want to get anybody any trouble, or not, or have them.
It's a shitty position
it takes
she's
many
in.
years.
But I
to be able to
understand why
get
the lady wanted this
to
information out.
the point to have a good profession going, and a lot of time and money, and I just would never want to ruin that for somebody. And also, I don't know if it's that, or if I'm worried about
Yeah,
that,
I know,
I think,
crime and
but
justice.
I don't know exactly. I don't know if it's the information. A lot of this stuff is stuff I already assumed, but it was shocking to the specifics you're not
thanks,
going to hear
Ashley.
before. So you might know.
Yeah, it is
just
time.
like you probably assumed that they did fail their lie detector test, or there were some issues with that, but you probably didn't know that it was for the guilty knowledge part of the test. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm going to remove the comments for a second, and then I'll pull them back up because I just get distracted. Okay?
Like you can hear the nerves in her voice.
Thank you guys so much for being here. Okay, so we're going to go over the first thing. Let me make sure you guys, I am going to pull, can you hear me okay? Am I speaking loud enough? I know I'm kind of like speaking kind of low. My heart is beating so fast.
And that's why I didn't fast forward it. Because I think this is important as well.
For anybody who was curious, I just messaged her because I wanted to know. I know I've been asked a few times, and I've heard people wondering how old the boys are. So she says the boys are 12, 11, and 9. So if that is true, if anybody knows that to be true, then I guess that's confirmation that.
But the source really wanted it out.
I didn't know that to be true. I do know the oldest boy is 12, and I remember that just because that's very close to my daughter's age. I was thinking that the two youngest were a little bit. I didn't know one was just
Hi, surviving the storm.
But anyways, that's not the pertinent information. Okay, yeah, thanks, Riley. Okay, I'm gonna remove the chat now. Okay. So.
Okay, Lisa.
So I guess there's different categories and stuff. This has a lot to do with the CPS situation with Don and Candus. And I guess there's different categories or something. I don't know if anybody can confirm this or whatever. I haven't had any time to look up any to verify this information, but she speaks like she knows what she's talking about. Her language and the words she used. She sounds educated, and she sounds like she knows what she's talking about. Shoot, I didn't want to even say she. I was going to say they, but there I go, Ari. So, anyways, she said. So she started with the neglect category, which includes. She tells me includes these subcategories of environmental neglect, nutritional neglect, medical neglect, educational neglect, and lack of supervision. Okay? So, she first mentions there were several of the categories that the boys had been found to fall in. The first
I get
one
they don't
was under the neglect
play
category.
with that at all.
Under the neglect category is where, she says environmental neglect speaks for itself. I guess from what we see from the house, being a deplorable condition with without the adequate beds. There wasn't clean bedding, and the mattresses were soiled. We've seen that environmental neglect. We saw that from what we've seen ourselves. That's what's. So nutritional neglect. The boys were not provided healthy meals at a minimum of three times a day. So they weren't given.
Her channel's called Ziggy.
Probably something we already assumed.
Surviving.
I mean, come on. None of us can. No meals or any type of food was mentioned the day Summer went missing, except a slushie.
Yeah, there is, right? Karen.
And maybe a Fanta or whatever, that orange drink or whatever it was, and Skittles. So as far as, here's where it gets a little shocking. The medical neglect. There was no dental care. They had no dental records. Well, she said, I shouldn't say there was no dental records. All I was told was dental care was not provided.
It's 9:16 p.m.
I guess she didn't have any records of that. And I would assume that, and this is what I mentioned to her, I said, I'm surprised because surely they qualify for Medicaid, right? I mean, even though Candus and Don are married, I mean, they still would qualify for Medicaid.
Yeah, I know, Surviving. We don't know,
at the very
I
minimum,
guess.
Health insurance for those boys. Maybe not food stamps and stuff, but
100%,
definitely Medicaid and insurance.
I actually really believe her.
And dental's always provided for kids that are under 18, okay? For adults, it's not always provided. It depends what state you're in, but
that's
for kids, yeah. So they were not they were not going to the doctor. They never went to the doctor. They were lice infested, and we're talking they had body lice. I didn't even know there was such a thing. Okay?
Me neither.
So they weren't given any type of, they were considered neglectful because they did not take them to the doctor for a body lice. Also, so she said that was times 4. So all of them, Summer and the 3 boys, all had body lice. And also Candus, guys. Candus had body lice.
I know.
Scabies. She didn't tell me how many had scabies, but at least one of them had scabies and was not given proper doctor or medical care.
I misunderstood.
I didn't even know I don't even know really what scabies was. I did look it up after she mentioned it because I started to ask her, I'm like, what is that exactly? And I also asked her what body lice was. I was like, is that crabs? No, it's different because I was like, oh my God, like is that like an STD like passed on to the boys? But I guess body lice is not crabs, it's different. And the scabies, it looked like from
just leave then, misunderstood. You don't have to stay here.
Like some type of rash, some type of mite or parasite that crawls underneath your skin, and just horrible. So the next subcategory under the neglect category was educational neglect. So they missed school an abnormal amount of days. The number of assignments and homework was never turned in by the boys. The lack of IEP for all 3 boys. So they should have IEP. I guess that's a educational plan where you get special, like the kid gets special kind of, I don't know what the right word is, not privileges, kind of privileges. That's the only thing I can think of a word to use, where they get like extra time for tests or whatever, just depending on. So she says that all have some type of special needs. So all 3 boys have special needs, and we're not set up with IEPs. So also under the neglect category, lack of supervision. They were being left alone for up to 6 hours a day. And you got to remember, too, that's something I brought up to her. I'm like, I have a daughter who's, I started letting stay home for an hour or two or whatever while I go to my office, and she's 13, and
clout chaser. Okay.
So I don't think it's really weird, but then I remembered they don't have a phone there. What if something would happen? And 3 boys together at that age are, they could come up with some things to.
Yeah, it's like I got 3,000 people in
easily.
here.
And you can't tell me you're going to just stay in that house and not go out and wander around. But yeah,
Hi,
and she mentions the body lice Candus had also. It's crazy. Okay, so that was the first category. I'll move on to the next category will be the physical abuse category, with subcategories of physical abuse, and then the second subcategory is drug exposed child. I'll look at the chat just for a second here.
Hi, Joe.
Yeah, special needs plan. So yeah. Summer at the dentist, I wonder how long ago. It was weird because I look at older pictures of Summer and she seemed dressed better and just taken care of more and stuff, and then but her teeth were rotted out in the front, so it's obvious that there was no any type of dental. I'm just going by what I was told, so I'm not saying, I don't know. She probably did go to I don't know. They modify the work for them. Modifications. Okay. So I'll go on since there's not any comments really, not many. So the next category, the physical abuse category. All 3 boys were physically abused by Don and Candus. They were kicked, punched, their hair was pulled, they were beaten with objects such as belts, shoes, and other items. That gives me chills, guys. That makes me really uncomfortable. I haven't read through this since when she first told me. So, yeah. So, once again, the boys were all physically abused by Don and Candus, by being kicked, punched, their hair being pulled. They were beaten with belts, shoes, and other items. Before I go on to the drug exposed part, I don't know how she didn't elaborate how CPS knows this. I do know the boys are, maybe I can mention that when I get to the part where she mentions it, but I have a feeling the boys are talking. But they have been under investigation for a while, and before the summer, being whatever happened with her, which it makes you think if CVS was so involved at the time and they knew that CPS, did I say CVS? CVS is one of my favorite places, but when it's CVS, if it was closing on, it really makes me think that it makes me really believe that they were scared that sexual abuse would become known, and they had to find something to do with Summer. So, under the physical abuse category, under the subcategory of a drug-exposed child, all 3 boys were exposed to drugs, meaning that they were in the presence of their parents while they used drugs. Which I'm sure that's something that we already assumed. So the next category is called psychological harm. And the subcategory is just psychological harm. I guess there's just one subcategory under that. Or either that or that's the only I don't know if there's other subcategories that she didn't mention. Maybe she just mentioned the parts that they were concerned, but there's only one here. So she says that all boys were emotionally and psychologically harmed with words, threats, and yelling up to several times a day. See, another thing that I think we probably already. So, in the last year, there has been a total of 7 abuse claims. So, all these people saying that weren't there people that called in CPS and, made them aware? There were. And I think that according to her, 7 times in the last year, there was a total of 7 abuse claims. And I think so CPS was involved and people were calling in. And I think that just backs up the possibility that maybe that's what Summer's disappearance was due to something like that, because of, I just believe that. So she says there have been years of child abuse. There is no truth to Don's lies, that the boys were removed because of internet threats. She said, huge lie. They were removed under priority 1, which means that the children were in imminent danger. So any of you guys who have worked for CPS, I've never heard of priority 1, but that is why they were categorized to be in imminent danger. There is a gag order, she says, and that Don is breaking it, and that there is an upcoming emergency hearing over that because of Don continually speaking on things he's not supposed to, I guess. Oh, here's the shocker. Are you guys ready for it? Let me look at the, hi, Benny. I don't know. Benny doesn't bother me, really, guys. I mean, I don't agree with anything he really says or does, but I don't care who's in the chat. It doesn't. So he's fine. And Summer's teeth, the dentist friend, that he said she had no enamel left and a rotten tooth, and he said it looked like she never brushed her teeth. Okay. So I'll remove the comments again so I can continue without distraction. Oh my God, you guys ready for this one? This was the most shocking one to me, I think. Candus is being investigated for a relationship with Hunter. Okay, and that's not all. It gets a little bit. It's elaborated on a little bit. Okay.
Jen F.
But Candus is being investigated for a relationship with Hunter. Okay, guys. Candus was 100% involved with Hunter in a sexual manner. And CPS knows this. Okay? She says Candus was 100% involved with Hunter in a sexual manner. Currently, Candus is under investigation with, I guess she called it DCS. I guess that means Department of Child Services. We call it CPS up here. And once they finish their investigation, they will be turning everything over to law enforcement. So later on, I asked her, so how hasn't Don and Candus been charged with anything? They know that there's sexual abuse with it'd be sexual abuse, right? Because Hunter's under 18 or whatever. And Candus is 39. How is she not being charged with some type of well, they're not done with their investigation. They're still investigating things, and the charge they're going to be. You guys, they will be charged with all this stuff. There's nothing. I mean, this is stuff that they already, obviously already know about. CPS obviously knows about it. So me speaking on it doesn't change anything. They're going to get. Candus is going to be arrested for messing with a kid who I don't know when it started. She didn't elaborate, but she did say 100% they were in a sexual relationship. And she goes further. She says Candus was sexually involved with Hunter even while the kids were around. The kids weren't involved sexually with the whole thing, but the boys witnessed it. Okay? Meaning they were in another room or, around Candus and Hunter. Well, out in public. I don't know what that means. She says the outings at the swim holes is noted. So I don't know what she really meant by that, but she said the outings at the swim holes is noted. I'm saying it exactly how she put it. She said, okay, I'll read that. Candus was sexually involved with Hunter even while the kids were around indirectly. Meaning they were in another room or away from Candus and Hunter while out in public. The outings at the swim holes is noted. Now listen to this. Candus was, or I'm sure probably not anymore because she's probably scared out of her mind, was harassing Hunter's girlfriend, who is also underage. And then she goes on to state that Candus is equally as dangerous as Don. So it sounds like, which I've heard before that Candus was harassing or whatever, Hunter's girlfriend, which just kind of shows me that it was some kind of weird jealousy. Candus jealous of Hunter's girlfriend. Just because Hunter and them say, when Chris McDonough asked about, are you guys, in a relationship? She's like, I have a girlfriend. That doesn't matter. Come on. It does not matter. He's 14 and he's going to do it. He's at that age. He's going to do whatever's offered to him, whoever's offered to him. He's just at that age and he's, So let me see if you guys say anything. Yeah, it's not a relationship. I mean, but they're, that's just the word she used. It is a pedo. What the hell? And it's no wonder they were on the outs.
Yes, Karen, I believe so.
Jessica, can you, when I'm done, maybe just rewind and stuff, where I explain it's the same place I got the info about the drug screens and the lie detector test. Because I know, like I mentioned before, you can't, and I'm not asking you, because I know, you can't believe everything everybody says on here. Just like how we all thought Don was arrested. I think more people than not really thought he was. So, I'm just saying, Yeah,
Exactly.
I cannot give any proof. I will not. I mean, I would have to be tortured to give up this person. It would ruin them. I just can't. But I explained it more in the beginning.
Yeah, I believe it too, Cheryl.
Yeah, Melinda. I don't know. I will tell you this. I can assume her profession. Well, I guess I know what profession hers is, but I don't. And I kind of wish actually, I do wish I didn't mention her, or because that, that narrows it down by 50%. Now we know everybody knows the person's her that's giving me this information. Yeah, I never would. I would never. I would have to be like, I would never do that because I just wouldn't. I'm too sensitive of a person. I'm an adult student, okay? I finally almost got my bachelor's, and I've spent so many money and the profession that she's in. Oh my God, it takes a lot of schooling and stuff. She wants people to know, but she doesn't want to. It's like eating her up inside. She wants it. She's like, I just wish I could get this information out without it, jeopardizing me or.
Oh, dear.
Okay. Then she mentions this situation's so deep. Don is only in the church due to community service. He's not religious at all like he claims. There are teenage girls that Don was creeping around, but there is not enough evidence for the law enforcement to do anything about that. Okay, so there's a little bit more information here. I can't remember if there's any more bombshells, but she mentions that the boys have an advocate that they speak with, and they have gotten really close to her. They were terrified of their parents, and for a while they were terrified to speak about anything. It took them a while to be able to, because I did ask her, I'm like, like I said, I think I mentioned, like, how did they know this information? Is this reports? Like, because she's speaking like it's true, all of it. Like, so I wanted to know how they know for truth, like, for true. I mean, you know what I mean? But I guess the boys have finally connected and been able to, speak and feel comfortable. She mentions that it upsets her that people keep saying that the parents should have been picked up by law enforcement if they were going to arrest the parents, if they should have been picked up by now. She said this is so far from the truth. She said the investigation is so complicated because of the information that law enforcement is dealing with. And then she mentions that she has Don's alias written down, because Don had an alias. And actually, after her telling me this, I looked up the name of Don's alias that she told me, and I saw it was already released on another channel. She says that nobody still knows what happened to Summer, and that law enforcement is working so hard. But that Don's alias was a John Wesley Miller. She said the boys are doing amazing in their foster homes. like I said before, the two youngest boys are together and the oldest boy is in a separate foster home. I was confused because she mentions that earlier mentioned that nobody in the family would take the boys, but then she mentioned that none of the family was qualified to take the boys. So I don't know. That was a little bit of a discrepancy there. I don't know. She said that nobody in the church would take them also. I guess some people in the church were asked. She said that, because I asked her here, I said, one question I have is why haven't Don and Candus been charged with neglect due to these findings? And then I said, or is it still on the works? She said, yes, she's saying yes, that it's still in the works, and that other charges are coming concerning the boys. She said, remember, I said they are in juvenile and family court. It will be sealed for the moment, and there is a gag order with the family. She says that Don and Candus are in a boatload of trouble. And then she mentions that because I asked her, I go, do you know, she said that the alias was used in Texas, and I said, oh, was it, I said, I can't imagine him being able to get away with an alias in these time of days, you know? And I said, it must have been from a long time ago, right? And she said, yes. And there is a video of somebody, True Crime, Cindy has a video up. It was from a very long time ago, like when he was like 18 or something. So that's what I have about that. So then, you know, they have, so the major shockers that I was like, whoa, is that they have proof that there was a sexual relationship between Hunter and Candus. And that they were removed because they were in imminent danger under priority 1. There's 7 abuse claims in 1 year. There was years of child abuse. Don's lying about, the boys getting removed because of, because of this stuff with Summer and people, it's not because of internet drama or people coming to the property. It doesn't have anything to do with that. It's abuse. The boys were emotionally and psychologically harmed with words, threats, and yelling up to several times a day. They were exposed to drug use. All 3 boys were physically abused by Don and Candus. They were kicked, punched, hair pulled, beaten with objects such as belts, shoes, and other items. The boys had body lice, all 3 of them. So actually, that's probably what she meant when she put body lice times 4, because I was thinking 4. But then she later says that Candus had body lice too, so that makes sense. Because I was thinking, well, maybe they found out that Summer had body. No, I think she meant the 3 boys and Candus had body lice. And then she also said that she didn't tell me how many had scabies, but I know for a fact that at least 1 had scabies. She didn't give me a number on that. They were left alone for 6 hours at a time. So that bullshit about Candus trying to act like she's Mother of the Year, watching Summer walk into the door and checking on her a couple minutes later. not true. You know, they had educational neglect. They were missing over the allotted amount of time. You know, you get so many days a semester. It varies between schools, but like my daughter's school is like you can miss up to 10 days per semester, and they were missing way over what they were allowed, and they weren't getting their assignments done. All the boys have special needs that weren't being met. They weren't getting any doctors' care for the lice or scabies or dental care. They weren't getting the minimum amount of 3 meals a day. And then the environmental neglect was what we all saw, as far as there was not adequate beds, meaning there was not clean bedding, and the mattresses were, I guess, disgusting and soiled. So, and then the boys are 12, 11, and 9 for this. So, yeah. I can't wait till it comes out, proof that comes out that, you know, where we could all physically see for ourselves that, like everybody, like, well, I won't say everybody because we all have differing opinions, but many of us believe that there was something weird going on with Candus and Hunter. Not that I believe that Hunter really thinks. I think that Candus groomed him. That's what I told this person. I just said, you know, she obviously had an obsession with him. You know, she said that she was that it's also in a report of her harassing Hunter's girlfriend, an underage girl, because she's a jealous freak weirdo. Wow, that's crazy, Riley. T. Riley, about the heard screaming, locked in the basement. That sounds familiar. Locked in the basement. I've heard that before. Wonder if Allie knows. I think Allie was one of the ones that reported the abuse. But, you know, after these pictures I saw on Allie, some video was put out. I think we watched it on here early this morning. I was so tired, but somebody wanted me to look at this video, and the conditions that I don't think Allie's any better. I think she did report Candus's in the living conditions and everything, but I think it was done out of spite. I don't think it was done for, you know, real concerns. You know, probably a back and forth type thing. Because you gotta remember, Allie's the one. She, you know, if you heard her on Chris McDonough, and even you know, Hunter saying, oh yeah, she gets me, you know, cigarettes or whatever, vapes all the time or something like that. And you know, and then he like looks to his mom and like, doesn't she, or something like that. So his mom knew of this stuff and just didn't really care enough. You know, she's just acting like she cares now because there's, you know, she doesn't want to get in trouble or whatever for neglect. I mean, she had to have known something was weird with Candus and her son. It doesn't matter that Hunter had a girlfriend. I don't know even why people mention that. Like that's supposed to mean anything. Like that's supposed to mean that Candus wasn't grooming Hunter or molesting him. Because what boy, I'm sorry to be graphic, I mean, trigger warning, that's why But what boy at that age isn't going to turn down some, like, you know, oral sex or something? No matter who it is. At 14, 13 years old? I mean, I know this because my boyfriend that I've been with for almost 9 years, like at 14 years old, he got a girl pregnant who was almost the same age as Candus, 39. When he was the same situation. He was her paper boy. The lady just threw herself at him. Some 14-year-old paper boy. Hey, Addie. Oh, Addie, you missed it all. I guess I could give you the rundown real quick. Just real quick. I can go over what was mentioned. But I suggest you, like, you know, because we just went over all the good parts. So the boys are 12, 11, and 9. There was neglect under the neglect category. The environmental neglect, she said, speaks for itself. The house was deplorable condition. There was not adequate beds. There was not clean bedding. The mattresses were disgusting and soiled. Under nutritional neglect, the boys were not provided healthy meals at a minimum of 3 times a day. There was medical neglect. Dental care was not provided. There was not doctor visits for the lice infestation ×4, which the 3 boys and Candus had body lice. And then she mentions also scabies. She didn't tell me how many had scabies, or I don't even know if that's something that's I don't even really know what that is, but so at least one of the boys had scabies and was not given doctor care for. There was educational neglect. All 3 of the boys have special education needs that were not met. There was not an IEP or which is like an educational where you're given special considerations and stuff in school because you might be ADHD or whatever, and not be able to pay attention as well. So you might need a little bit of extra time on a test, stuff like that. She didn't take the time to, but they missed way too many days of school over the allotted amount of time allowed. They missed way too much homework. There was lack of supervision. They were being left at home for up to 6 hours a day. She mentions the body lice again. Under the physical abuse category, this is one shocking part. All 3 boys were physically abused by both Don and Candus. They were kicked, punched, hair pulled, beaten with objects such as belts, shoes, and other miscellaneous items. All 3 boys were exposed to drug use, which I'm sure we all figured. Under psychological harm, they were constantly emotionally and psychologically harmed with words, threats, and yelling up to several hours a day. There was a total of 7 abuse claims in 1 year. There has been years of child abuse. She says there's no truth to the lies that the boys were removed because of the internet threats. She said that's a big fat lie by Don. They were removed under Priority 1, which alleges that children may be in imminent danger. There's a gag order that Don is breaking, and they're about to have an emergency hearing over it. Then she mentions, this was the most shocking part to me, but I already assumed, Candus is also being investigated for a relationship with Hunter. Candus was 100% involved with Hunter in a sexual manner. She says, this is the worst case I have ever seen. Candus is under investigation with DCS, and once they finish their investigation, they will turn everything over to law enforcement. Once again, because I asked her something, and she said, yes, Candus was sexually involved with Hunter, even while the kids were around. Meaning, like, the kids would be in another room, and she would be doing whatever she was doing with Hunter. Or also when they're out in public, like at the swimming holes. Candus was harassing Hunter's girlfriend, who, by the way, is underage. She then mentions that Candus is equally as dangerous as Don. She goes, this goes so deep. And then mentions Don is only in the church due to community service. And that Don was creeping around and are involved with teenage girls, but there's not enough evidence with that for law enforcement to do anything about right now. And the boys have been talking to something she called a CASA volunteer. I don't know if you guys have heard that. CASA, like casa, meaning house in Spanish, volunteer, which is she says they have connected a strong bond with her and have opened up to her and begun to trust her. They were terrified to speak about anything they had been exposed to for a while, but somehow she's been able to get them to open up. Still, they don't know what happened to Summer, supposedly, but yeah, that's about it. There are other charges that are coming concerning the boys. So we will see charges on this. It just hasn't happened yet because they're still working on their case. And then she mentions Don's alias from Texas, John Wesley Miller. I guess he had an alias back in the day. He called himself John. So instead of saying Don, it was John or Johnny, Donnie. But anyways, she said she would let me get back to me with any other information as it comes. But yeah, the housing conditions speak for itself. We already knew that was like scurvy is a vitamin C. Scabies is mite in the skin. Yeah, I looked that up after she mentioned it. Yeah, she probably was drinking or while she was pregnant, I'm sure. What's wrong? Well, Addie, I mean, he's a 14-year-old boy who, right? I mean, damage control. Yeah. Oh, okay. So you've heard of the CASA volunteer before? Court-appointed advocate. Is that, so CASA stands for something like court-appointed advocate, but I wonder what the S stands for. I bet the boys know somewhat what happened. That's something else I mentioned. I was like, I wonder if the boys know, or I wonder if Don and Candus would have been stupid enough to do something to hunt Summer while they were around. Or maybe they had the boys so scared that they were. Yeah, horn dogs. I get a 14 there, horn dogs. But I mean, good Lord, Candus. So I wanted to show a few videos. I don't know if you guys saw this earlier. It was very interesting. Under Sweetie Pie Low, I'm going to first show.
So, guys, that's the stuff that her source has told her. And as we've guessed, it sounds like a CPS worker, and it's a female CPS because she kept saying she. Yeah. You know, with everything, like we knew all about the house and the bedding and all of that, and I know it can be, like I've been reading the comments as we go, and a lot of people are saying that they don't believe that it's true, and that's okay. Like with every single thing, we all have a different opinion, so it's totally fine. Personally, I do believe it because of things that a few other creators have said, but also stated they couldn't say yet, and that they have information they can't let out yet. So at the beginning of this video, Ziggy was saying that the source wanted this information out because she is sick to death of hearing all the false stuff that is going around from the family and the circus it's become. So, yeah, you can sort of understand. The thing with Hunter, initially, as we've all seen the TikTok video and everything else, I thought 100%, because you can see the story unfold through her TikTok. You know, she had the long hair. She looked okay. Like, and as this Ziggy lady was saying before, you know, the kids looked reasonable. Summer did have nice little outfits on at times, and it didn't seem like it was closer to Summer disappearing. And that's when you see like this haze come over Candus, and she just doesn't look like she's on the planet. And the cryptic TikToks where she's sending a message to someone, and I've always thought it was Hunter, like always. So I honestly do believe that side of the story. Well, the dentist and the medical, we all gathered that was part of it as well, so that's no big surprise. The body lice I'm confused with, because I've never, other than genital insects, as in crabs, we call them in Australia, I didn't know you could get lice on any other part of your body. And I gather that's what genital crabs are, is a form of lice, isn't it? Like, guys, I'm learning stuff by the hour with this case. Like, and I ask you guys as many questions because I just don't, it just goes so fast, and you don't have time to sit and work out all this stuff. But I'm going to Google it when I get off here, what body lice is, because I've never heard of that other than hair. And she wasn't talking about nits in your hair, like hair lice. She said body lice. And she even said, I've never heard of body lice before. And I don't think she meant hair lice. Scabies. The bit I do know about scabies, it is from being unclean, like your personal hygiene is not up to scratch. And it also can be from vitamin deficiency. So they're lacking lots of nutrients and things like that. So it makes it worse. I didn't take notes down to go over each thing she said, but the physical abuse, Don Buchanan touched on it a few weeks back, if you remember. And she nearly said word for word what Don said. And that's why I think people are saying they don't believe what this lady's source is saying, but it's been leaked prior to this, is the way I'm looking at it. And I really hope it is true, guys. Like, I hope it's just a matter of days before. And like I've been saying for days and days, like, Candus isn't the victim here, and she's not what everyone, you know how after Chris McDonough's interview, everyone was like, oh, you know, Mummy Patrol, and, you know, she's a battered wife and all that. Bullshit. I've never thought that of her, ever, from day one, because they're chameleons and they just adapt. And I've said this over and over again too. So nothing about Candus is a shock. And even yesterday, or was it 2 days ago, I said to go back, look at the video she does with Chris McDonough, and the bit where there's 2 facial expressions that she gives, and one is when he asks her about the pillow, and it's this dumbfounded look. And I've seen that a million times of a certain person in my life, when they look stunned, but even that facial expression is biding them time to think up an answer. But the expression straight away is told me the story. And the second question is when Chris asked her about Hunter, and she has another expression, which is just guilt. Oh, how am I going to get out of this? Sort of look on her face like she's so surprised of the question because it's so shocking. But girl, boo, this is not shocking to her. It's the fakeness of them expressions that get me. And if you go back and have a look at them, hopefully you'll see what I see. But yeah. So it looks like they're both going to be locked up. And she even said, isn't it surprising? No, this is why I was like shaking and everything, because as the mother and the protector, as in Don's supposed to be the protector, but this is mum, you know, and he says it over and over and over again, constantly. I'm always at work. Oh, I'm never home. I'm always at work. So she's with the kids the majority of the time, and she's the one dishing out the majority of the abuse. And I want to see this woman, even though I'm ashamed to even call her a woman, she needs to be locked up, like right now. And so does he, but come on now. And I was going to play the Voices Behind the Wall phone call with Don that happened last night, your time, this morning, my time, because I hadn't heard it until after I did a live today. And in my live today, I brought up a question about the Subaru. And I asked if anyone, because I just don't have time to do this nitty-gritty investigation. Like, some of you guys are just so on it and can look up things so quick and find out stuff. But yeah, I don't have that amount of time. And anyway, what my question is does anyone know if they make the monthly payments on the Subaru, or is it paid off in full? And yeah, the finance side of it, like whose name is it in and all that sort of stuff. I was asking them questions this afternoon. Then I had a technical issue and had to get off my live. And then about an hour later, I watched or listened to the Cher phone call she did last night with Don. And that's what sends Cher off ahead, is the fact that he will not answer a simple question about the Subaru. And I was like, oh my God. You know, that just sort of blew me away, that I was thinking the same thing. Or who pays the payments on them? Like, we all know that they're not as poor as they try to make out they are. But it's a different scenario if that vehicle is paid off and it's finished. Like, what are they, $35,000? Very interesting to me. I know, oh guys, I know it's probably got jack to do with summer disappearing, but it's all the little pieces we put together bit by bit. And I'm sure law enforcement know all this. Hey, we're on the same. I know. I've just worked out, guys, that it's better for me to come on at 10 o'clock p.m. Australia time than during the day. Because I've been coming on of a morning, well, not of a morning, lunchtime, our time, and I just miss everybody. So have you all listened to the last phone call Cher did with Don? I know, Elizabeth. Oh, like I was in a chat the other day and people were saying they need to be castrated as soon as they're found guilty of SA and everything. And then someone said, it's not only like it's not down below you have to worry, but it's their head. And I never thought of it like that, as in their brain. Because even if they physically can't, mentally they still need it, you know, need that side of things. So with a rusty blunt knife. Yeah, exactly, Genevieve. Oh, it just blows your mind, doesn't it? And like today's life, I sort of touched on, I was having the shittiest life, I tell you. I was nearly crying because it was 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Hubby wasn't supposed to be coming home. And then they all had, it was like a carousel in and out of the bloody house. Then the cat knocked something off the table. It was just a nightmare. My vehicle doesn't show up on my background check. I had that probably because it bank owned. So maybe that's why. Oh. Okay. And I read out, and I hope that's okay, Penny, but I read out and showed your community post this afternoon on your announcement with the case, and everyone was quite, I'll just give you the feedback here while you're in here. Everyone was like shocked that you guys and a few other couple of creators I know of are getting heat on this, and it's just blew our minds. And I just wanted you to know if there's anything at all I can do to help in any way. I know I'm a long way away, but we've got your back and we will do anything because you guys have worked so hard. And yeah, I really feel for you that you feel like I understand you've given everything you've got to TBI and everything else. But yeah, it was just the wording of it sort of threw us all a bit, and we're all really worried for you. And that side of this is scary, and we have to look after our families plus our YouTube community and be here for each other. And God help the bastards. Like, they're not going to get away with, and I'm not just talking about Donald and Candus. They know who they are, and they need to be just as careful because it's getting beyond a joke. And people are only here for summer. You know, get that through your head, you dumbasses. No creator on here, like I got called a clout chaser halfway through that video and told to shut up and all the rest of it. Like, come at me. I don't give two shits. It's just, now my dog's going to start barking. Yeah, if you're here for summer, then why go into anyone's live and just be so bloody rude? And why threaten people and their families? And that makes you just as bad as Donald and Candus, in my opinion. Like, seriously, it's about a 5-year-old little girl here. Oh, it was just, Ashley, it was just, I got told to stop talking. It's a bit funny now I think about it. And I know I do it, but sometimes, you know how I can't keep quiet? Like when I get, you know, agitated and we'll be playing something and I just have to talk. Well, I get it. Like, I shut up. I stopped talking. I was talking over the video and it was just annoying a few people, and that's fine. But it was the way it was said. If they'd said, oh, would you mind just keeping quiet while the video's on, I would have been like, yeah, sure, no problem. But when you tell me to shut the fuck up, like, what? Yeah, that's not okay. Like, I wouldn't say that to someone. Whether, like, not to their face, unless they come at one of my kids or something like that. But yeah, I don't know. Some people would just. A lady said to me a couple of weeks ago, because I was irritated about a certain person, and she said, Sharon, what you have to realise is not everybody has the same morals or respect for others as the way you see the world. And I never thought about things like that. I just thought everyone should be nice and, you know, be there for each other and all that sort of shit. But hell no. There's just not people like that in the world. That, oh, there, you know what I'm saying. It's late. But yeah, it sounds to me like it's, if this is from Ziggy's source, if this is fact, because as a couple of our chat have said that it's nothing we didn't know that's already on the internet. Okay, we can take that on board, but we didn't know about the scabies and the body lice and all that sort of, you know, stuff. We didn't know that they weren't going to school when they were supposed to be. Yeah, all that sort of thing. And maybe it is fake because maybe, we have to, if Don's done anything in the last couple of weeks, it has shown us not to believe everything that we hear and see on YouTube. So I'm just going to wait it out. But I still think it's true and I believe her. And hopefully they will be locked up for this and keep them in custody. And then we'll have hopefully answers on Summer, because it just feels like you can feel this tension building up and that something's coming very soon. I don't know if you guys feel like that, but it seems like everyone is like that these days. Yeah, Gabby. I don't know. I sort of, if you think of Dougie Hutton, no thanks, he doesn't do it so much now, but 12 months ago, he used to get aggravated and about people being nasty and stuff, and he'd be like, have a Coke and a smile, like it fixes everything. And I really think some people need to do that. And I think he meant to drink Coke, not the other Coke, guys. Just so you know. Just put that in there. Yeah, there is, Lisa, isn't there? So many victims when you think about it. Now, I haven't seen this video. Does anyone know what this video is of Ali's house? Because I heard her mention that in there, and I haven't seen. I was doing my little presentation all day. It took me hours and hours. It was really interesting, though, on the last live for Stockholm Syndrome and the trauma bonding thing. And it's what these boys, because sadly I believe Summer is gone, but it's what these boys are living with now, and how they were in this trauma bond with their parents because they just thought that was normal and that's how everybody lived. And they didn't know any different until now. Like now is when, so to them at the time, while they're living in the conditions and bearing the brunt of the abuse and everything else, they still think that's normal. Even though they don't like it, they just think everybody lives like that and everyone gets a bashing and thrown in the basement and locked in there and, not taken to the doctor, and everybody's house is dirty and filthy like that. So it's not now that the trauma is actually going to kick in. Now that they're away from that and they're seeing a different way of life. Yeah, they're good now too much, but this is when they realise the severity of where they were living and what they were going through, if that makes sense. It's not till you get away and you're in normalcy that you realise, hey, that was really shit back there. What is her pain in all of this? Look, Grandis, I'm just going on my little theory here. I don't think Grandis went into town with Candus and Summer. I really don't. I never have. I think she's had a day planned with Hunter and Ali might have been with her. That is my thing. Ali was with her at some point. But you would think if that was the case, Chris McDonough might have seen who Candus was with. Sorry, guys. When she went to the supermarket and stuff, because didn't Grandis go into the shops? I don't know. I kind of feel like H was brought along for an alibi. No, I think her and an alibi, but I also think they were up to something at that swimming hole. And I don't think Grandis was at the swimming hole either. I don't care what any of them say. Because the only one who can say the truth about the swimming hole and who was there 100% is Summer. Yeah, I don't think she was either, Shell. I really don't think that. And I don't know what the hospital services are like in Hawkins County, like Kingsport, because it was Kingsport where they were, wasn't it? But I know, so she would have been going to like an outpatient clinic type thing. And I'm not sure if they take appointments or not, but all of our outpatient EDs over here, you go there and you get seen per urgency of each case. So, you know, even if Grandis did go into town with her, she could have been sitting at that doctor's until 3:00 in the afternoon. Like she says, she went back and picked her mother up at, what was it, about 12? No, she had her before she went to Walgreens and all of that. So I couldn't imagine she was out of there in 2 hours with a sore knee, unless it was an appointment type thing. But most emergency department outpatient clinics go on how sick you are or how urgent you are. Brenda said that Hunter went to the house. Whose house? I can see them selling Summer and paying off Ellie and H to maybe keep quiet. But I'm so back and forth. 1 minute I think accident, the next something else. Yeah, I know. That's what we do, guys. But with that phone call that I heard where they analysed Ali's voice against Grandis's voice, it doesn't sound like Grandis to me now. Okay, so do we want to listen to this phone call with Don and Cher from last night? Because I'll stop sharing that one. It was a scheduled one. Yeah, well, maybe she was out of there in a couple of hours. Yeah, play it. Okie dokie. Have you guys heard it? Share screen. Audio. Now both dogs are going to start.
I'm feeling haunted.
I hear the voices inside my head, see voices behind the wall, uplifting the underdog, we fighting above the law.
Hey everyone. Hey Sylvia.
Hello, everybody.
So good to see you back around. Cheshire. Mandy, we love you too. I've learned a lot. Debbie. I'm going to share the link in a little bit. Benny, Mandy. People I know that can come up. Daylin, I love you. Hey Punksy. Brandolyn. Sam I am. Hope for Peace. Hey, I haven't seen you in a little bit, I don't think. Honest Rage. Hello. All right, so I am going to first start off with a disclaimer, I think, because the recording I'm going to play is not like Don's sisters probably won't want to listen to it because he does talk about them, and I was just letting him talk. He called me last night and he did say in the recording, he like near the end of the conversation, that he wished I was recording it. So again, some people have asked, like, what if he's doing some prank on me or whatever? Well, if he is, then I think that makes him look worse, and I've told him that. So I will just continue to put out there what he tells me. But this time it's a recording with him. We did not write it down because hubby's been working all week and got home today, is working. So, and I'm not computer savvy, am I? So I know a lot of you have trouble understanding him. And I'll tell you right now, he does not want me to play this recording. He's tried to stop me today, even told me it was against the law in Canada, which it's not. It's a one party in Canada. Yeah, so I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it in a few minutes, but there is a trigger warning. He does talk the way he talks, usually, about his sisters. So he says things that people aren't going to like about a lot of things, from Equisearch, his sisters, just like everything. The whole call pretty much is maybe triggering to some people. So definitely trigger warning. And I would not want his sisters to listen to this. I am not saying I agree with what's coming out of his mouth either, you guys. I am just putting it out there. Hold on.
Hey, Brandy Bama.
All right, sorry guys, he's texting me right now. This is Don's words, not shares. Thanks, Daylin. Yeah, all of them. Trish, Jeannie, Mary. He's talking about all his sisters. He's basically angry at the world in this phone call. You guys will hear it. He is drunk, so you could, keep that in mind. Yes, definitely trigger warning. He won't answer that question. Unbelievable. Hey, Miss Wednesday. Hey, Debbie. Hey, Lori Dozer. Trigger warning. Yes, trigger warning. Don't shoot the messenger, y'all. Mary, hello. Okay. I'm telling you, he doesn't say nice things, so and again, I'm sorry, but I do not agree with a lot of what he says. I'm just putting it out there. Now, I did text Don today and told him it's probably in his best interest to not have any further communication with me because of what my beliefs are. But he's still talking to me. Somebody had emailed me a question. I asked him that question. It's as simple as, whose name is the Subaru in? And he cannot answer that. he had asked me like, why do you believe it? Is it my past? No, Don, I know you're watching right now. It is not just your past. It's all the inconsistencies. It's everything that doesn't make sense. Even when Cam and Allie were there and they showed the door to the basement and you can only see out, you can't see in. So let's say there's someone with perfect timing. There's no way somebody outside saw inside that basement door and saw Summer there to know that that was the time she was in the basement, because that is like basically like a one-way mirror type window there. You could see out, but you could not see in. So I just want to put it at that. So now the other thing that stood out to me is they were not at the prayer circle yesterday. I noticed Robin had made a comment, and I'm going to show a clip. Everyone has the prayer circle circling around. I took this, of course, from J for Justice, just a 30-second clip of what Robin's explanation for them not being there was. I found it interesting, so I'm going to play that really quick. Julie, thank you. Welcome to the Crazy Train. All right, here we go. Hold on.
They can find Summer, Father God. We are believing that they can in the name of Jesus, Father. Amen.
Amen. There's some people commenting, asking where the parents are. Candus is not feeling well, and Don is working his butt off like he always does. So, like he always does. But there's a lot of people praying, whether they're here or not. We know there's a lot of people, a lot of churches, church families out there that have their own little vigils, that have their own prayer. You know, Wednesday night especially prayer meetings. So we know there's a lot of prayer going on, whether they're here or not. They're here in spirit. And also, someone's asking you to do Waymaker.
Okay, so I know that's not true. Like, I know they were drunk last night. Candus crashed early, drunk, whatever. Don was drunk. He drunk called me when Candus went to sleep. So I then texted Robin today. Usually we go back and forth, and I asked Robin, did you, like, is that what Don and Candus told you? Or like, were you just being kind and kind of just, you know, kind of covering for them, you know, being nice? Or is that like what you were honestly told? And I told Robin, I said, because I know the truth. I know what they were doing and I know where they were. And she didn't respond. She read it, but she did not respond to it at all. So I found that interesting because she responds to most everything else. So maybe she was lied to and felt bad too. I'm not sure. Are you ready to play that a little? All right. So the recording might be bad because it was recorded on hubby's phone, so we're just gonna play it off his phone on here, and we will try to put it up in a better way, like over the weekend when hubby's not so busy. Okay. So we're gonna play it. Maybe I'll pause it to answer some questions. I don't know, but it's almost a darn hour, so I really want to get through it. If you guys will just kind of listen to it again, it might be choppy. You'll have to maybe, I don't know, can they slow it down? They can only speed it up when they listen back or something. I'll try and figure something out over the weekend to get it up there with writing and everything so you guys can better understand. Right?
Oh, okay. I was just wondering. All right. Mary texted me and said she pressed charges and all this and that crap over something like 40 years ago.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. She just texted you?
Yeah.
She pressed charges on you and then texts you?
Yeah.
What the F?
Yeah. Yeah.
On. You didn't answer or respond, did you?
Trish said in that one video to get a hold of her. So I tried everything in the world to find her number, call her, blah, blah, blah. So I posted on Facebook, Trish, BS. You've had my number all along. You could have called.
Yes, this was last night at like 9 p.m. for us. And Mary, Jeannie, Trish, I'm sorry again, trigger warning for this call for definitely you women. I'm sorry.
Long time ago. But you're full of shit.
Oh my God.
She don't want to contact me.
Oh my God.
She went on that some woman's show and said all this and that crap. She's full of crap.
Did you respond to her though?
Who, to Mary?
Yeah.
All I put on there was that Trish told me to, on that one show, to contact her, and I was just trying to contact her. That's all I put.
Chris McDonough made a post saying if we talk to her, even if I talk to her, like it's almost like threatening me that I'm not allowed to talk to your sisters because I'm friends with you.
That's so freaking funny.
Yeah, did you read that?
You know what, though? Did you threaten her?
No.
All right, then.
I told her I was sorry for her experience.
Why would you be? Well, nobody's sorry for any of my damn experiences. I spent my whole life in prison. Nobody's sorry for that.
I am, but nobody cares.
No, nobody cares about that. Ain't nobody ever touched Trish or anything else. You know, and Jeannie's responsible for her own crap, and she knows it.
So, wait, were you ever alone with Trish?
Never.
That's what I thought.
I don't even know Trish. I remember riding in the car with her one time with my dad to Idaho and back. That's all I remember about her or being a... No, hell no. She ain't playing that bullshit. She's a liar.
Do you think Allie or Hunter would take Summer, though?
It's a possibility, yes. We've been thinking about that all along.
I do not like them at all. And I just...
Right.
Like, you know, there's red flags, yes, that make you look bad. But I just don't think that you're some monster. Like, that's why I asked you, are you covering for somebody else?
No.
Like, maybe your friend or something? Like,
I would never cover... I'm going to tell you straight out, Sharon. I love my daughter more than anybody I've ever loved in my entire life. You think I'd cover for anybody for her? Hell no.
No?
Hell no.
Not even your
No
wife
way.
or your mother-in-law?
Hell no. My wife knows how I felt about Summer. I told my wife over and over, don't keep your eye on her close. She's my whole world.
Yeah.
She is my whole world. Besides God and Jesus first. Okay. Gotta put that out there. But, you know. But that's the truth. That's the truth.
Oh my God. Well, I can't believe she would call you or text. She texted you, and I can't believe she would do that after filing charges.
Her charges are bullshit.
I wonder if I can get in trouble for saying that. Like, she texted Don after she filed charges, people.
Yeah, she says she's not supposed to talk to me or whatever. But Trish is the one that put out there to call her and everything else. So I was just trying to get a hold of Trish. But, so I just put on Facebook, bullshit. It's bullshit. You're full of bullshit. But she had my number all along. She could have called me anytime. Because she talks to Mary all the time. And Mary's had my number and they've never tried to contact me.
Yeah.
So I'm calling bullshit. And as far as McDonough, he's the biggest instigator, liar, piece of shit I've ever seen in my life.
Everybody knows that.
Right.
I mean, everyone's starting to see that. Even people who used to like what he was doing are starting to see that.
He just can't let it alone.
No.
He's ruined the whole case all the way around.
Here, I don't know if you saw what he posted or not, but people are coming to me and saying, that is directed towards you, Cher.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, what? I haven't even done anything.
He's trying to scare everybody.
Mm-hmm.
He can't scare... Man, I can get on there and put on all kind of lawsuit crap or some laws or whatever directed towards him.
Yep.
They don't mean crap unless charges are filed.
He said, the Utah police report has been filed today, and the PD is investigating SA charges. That said, things have changed for some who would want to harass or connect with victims on behalf of the suspect. I've never harassed your sisters. I've never tried to harass them.
No, don't be scared of him. He's a freaking losing Man,
Your
he
sisters
just tried
came in my live stream talking to me, and you know what, Don? I was nice to them. I
I know that.
didn't harass
I've been
them.
nice. I've been nice to him my whole life, sure.
Yeah.
How do you think I feel?
Yeah. Yeah. I need some vodka.
Huh?
I need some vodka. Don't Jesus drank
That's
wine.
funny.
Come on.
Oh, hell. I can't do vodka and I can't do certain things. I cannot do it. Some things set me off, and vodka's one of them.
Whiskey's what does that to me.
Vodka, I mean, whiskey, I can have a few shots and all I want to do is go to bed. But the other shit, I want to go out freaking do all kinds of stupid shit that I can't do.
Hunt a tree.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know.
Man, he's just trying to scare them.
Yeah.
And everybody else.
He's parading them around. I said to your sisters yesterday, I said, I hope you know, I feel like, because I am a sexual assault and a rape survivor, and I feel like you guys are being extorted. Do you know how much money he makes off of telling your story? Yeah.
And you know what? I'm a rape survivor.
I know you are, but I haven't shared that with anyone. I do think it's important, your story, because I feel like people would understand more, but I think you're right. Then people would be more.
All right. I don't really care. I told Don exactly how I feel and told him it was in his best interest to stop contacting me as of today because of what I think. I actually told him he needs to go to the police and tell the truth and do a full confession. So keep talking shit, people. And again, for his sisters that are in here, I'm sorry, but I think you guys understand what I'm doing here.
Or like, nope, for sure he did something. Like, I get it, but
yeah.
I always want to. I stop myself so many times from sharing that because it's not my story to share.
I was kind of hoping you would, and then I was kind of hoping you wouldn't. But
yeah,
it's the truth. It's the truth. I was beat down. I mean, I'm not trying to brag. I'm not saying I cry on somebody's shoulder or whatever. Man, it's just the past, you know.
Yeah.
I'm sure them guys that are in their older ages. I'll never forget the one guy that I was going to kill. He had a shotgun pattern in his stomach where somebody shot him with a sawed-off gauge, and he had scar tissue all across his stomach. It probably blew it back a little bit, but it sure as hell didn't kill his ass. But I was going to kill him on that. It was so bad. But I tried to fight that big son of a bitch. And he picked me up like a rag doll and threw me on a bunk. And I landed on the corner of a steel. It was just steel, you know. You get that prison mattress. The rest is, you know, a steel L metal or whatever. I couldn't even walk for about a week. And yeah, it was pretty bad. I fought in there every day until that point. I couldn't fight no more. But oh well. That's just, you know, that's just the way it is. But I made trustee after that. I saved the girl.
We unblocked her the other day. What the heck? All right, when hubby gets back, I'll see if he will look on the computer again because we double checked checking convictions. Unblocked. Okay, sorry. And a lot of you guys, if you think that he is going to continue talking to me, like some of you have to have open minds. You know, I'm talking to him in a way he wants to talk. Yes. Does it sound good? No, it doesn't. But he's talking, right? So.
His life one day. I saved Dugar's life.
Oh, and the reason I see in the chat, oh, so you know he knows where Summer is. I told him that it is my belief that he knows more than what he is saying, and that he is either covering for someone, or maybe he had an accident and he got scared or whatever. But it is in my opinion that he isn't telling the full truth. And I told him that I feel like he is guilty of something, but I don't know what yet. But his actions, he said, why do you think that? Is it my past? No, Don, I mean, it's your past mixed with everything else. It's your past mixed with Even me saying maybe SA should be on the back burner until your daughter is found. You can't do that though. Instead, you keep attacking your sisters, attacking your niece, instead of just do like I say, put that on, like, let them file their charges and like deal with that when it comes to you, but let's deal with Summer. And it wouldn't continue with that. Instead, he is more concerned with trying to hurt his family or let his sisters think his dad is hurting or whatever. Like, it's more of attack to his sisters and niece, and that is wrong. So everything looks bad. The fact that the games, a false confession for $1 million, it's not just his past that makes believe this now, it's everything. And he knows that. So yes, I was honest with him today and said, you better not, like, just know, like, contacting me now is not in your best interest because this is what I believe and here is why I believe it. And Don knows that. And he wanted me to not play this call tonight. I don't care because everyone can say I'm not about Summer, but I am. I am doing what I feel like could be helpful to find Summer. And Don fucking knows that. He knows that. He thanks me actually on this call for loving Summer so much. And again, if he's playing me, he's playing me. That makes him look worse than me. So I'm going to continue on with the call.
And he was so freaking happy. And I remember once I made trustee, and I grew up in the county jails. And in Houston, and they had 5 helicopters at that time. And we go to the launch pad. Once you make trustee, your job is to go around and hand out tobacco to poor freaking inmates that have nothing. So that was a good job. We had to run the city. We could do whatever we wanted as long as we was back by 7. You could go to the bars if you wanted to, as long as you're back by 7. You could go out and deal dope if you want to, as long as you're back by 7. And when you got, man, them old black women and stuff to cook the best meals, best food you ever had in your life. In a county jail. We used to go and watch those helicopters take off and stuff. Man, we loved it. It was awesome. I mean, I was, what you call it, I'm institutionalized from way back. I was raised, all my younger years, I was raised in the county jails.
Like my dad, he calls it institutionalized. I don't know if that's the right word, but that's what he calls it.
It is. It's institutionalized.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. It's easier on the inside than it is on the outside.
Yeah.
But I've been struggling my whole life to not be institutionalized. I don't want to be institutionalized.
Yeah.
And I've been fighting and trying to do right, for so many years. And, people just fight against that. They don't want to see you succeed. They don't want to see you fail. They're not happy unless they see you fail.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, I know it.
And Jeannie has set me up a few times. She set me up a few times. She seen one time I had this beautiful woman in Houston, Texas. And I was in love with her deeply. And she tricked me. She seen that I was in love with this girl. And she made like that she wanted to be my girlfriend and everything like that. And then once I was like, she tricked me, Cher, I swear to you, this is the truth. She knew I was in love with her deeply, and she was jealous of that love. She seen that, and she acted like she wanted to be with me and everything else. And I thought Jeannie was being for reals, and I was like, I thought it was odd because she was younger than me. And I did like Jeannie at that time. I mean, I thought I did, but down the road, she got with her cousin Ronnie, or not her cousin, but her. Okay, Ronnie is
cousin through like marriage, right?
Okay, her brother married this woman, and that woman's son, which would be I don't know what that would be to her. My brother.
If he talks to me again, he talks to me again. If he doesn't, he doesn't. I'm well aware. And I told him today, I realize by what I'm telling you, you will think I'm evil. But that, that's not what I'm trying to be. I realize you will think I'm evil like you do everybody else, and my thinking is evil, and I'm a sinner or whatever. And I realize that will be the last of contact. I don't care. I'm, like I said, I never set out to do this to protect Don in any way. I gave him a fair chance, and I told him exactly how I feel today. I spelt it out for him why I feel this way, and told him it's probably best he doesn't contact me from here on. But he's continued to contact me. He can't answer simple questions. It's not just your past, Don. You can think I'm evil. I don't care. He was upset because he thinks I'm all friendly with his sisters and trying to help his sisters screw him. That's not the case. I haven't helped them with anything like that. Again, the focus, as I told Don, is wrong. He shouldn't be worried about attacking his family. He should be worried about where is Summer, in my opinion. Right? We all know that. But have I kind of handled him with kid gloves up until the last week? Yes, I have. I don't care now. I was fine when I started making reports over a week ago to TBI with losing the contact if it meant that there's answers to bring that little girl home. I'm fine with that. If he doesn't talk to me again, I'm fine. I'm fine with that. Here we go.
Married some woman, so that would be like a step something. I don't know, not a cousin. I think it is. I think it actually is blood relation, but I don't know what it is. But I know he was very young when she got with him. He was like 12 years old. But when she decided she wanted to be with this 12-year-old boy, she was done with him. And then all this hate started. But I'm telling you the truth. She acted like she loved me. And I was very in love with that girl in Houston, Texas. I loved her with all my heart, but Jeannie played the part that she wanted to be with me, and she ruined that love. And I still remember that woman calling me, and she asked me if I was good. And I said, yeah, I'm good. And I never heard from her again. And that's the truth. I'm not lying. I'm telling you the truth. But when she met her, I don't know if it's his cousin or what it would be to her. But I know he was 12, at least, like he was just a little boy. But whatever. But it's okay for the goose, but not the gander, whatever. And I know she went down for charges today.
Yeah.
But that's all right. Because if they drag me to Utah, I'm going to tell them the whole story.
That's what you gotta do. But do you think that they have a case, though, after all these years?
No, I don't think so. I don't even think they'll take me back to Utah, but they could. But if they do, I mean, if I get of course, if you get a lawyer, you can get out any freaking thing.
Where would it be in Utah that you would go?
Weaver County, or let's see, Ogden, Utah.
Make sure you text me that information so I know where you're at. So I can.
If I'm not locked up, I will. I can't keep her phone anymore. I'm kidding.
Oh my god.
This ain't no kidding though. I've been locked up a long time. I've seen people bring in. Well, I used to not keister. We used to call them keister, but I've seen people bring everything into prison. I mean, everything. From big knives, guns, everything inside the prison. I've seen it all inside the prison. They're scared to death in there. And the biggest fear about being in prison is that you got to kill somebody because you're never going to get out of prison. When you have to fight, you can't, you got to. Unless you're, I don't know. I don't know what the women's facility's like, but it's bad. There's a good chance once you get in there, there's a good chance you're never going to get out.
Yeah.
Oh, hell, fire, someone's here.
What?
Someone's at my house. Oh, that's why I was hearing things.
Okay, good. Good.
That's good, yeah.
Scared me.
Yeah.
Do you promise that you're not covering for anybody?
I promise with all my heart, sure. I don't know why people want to believe that shit.
Well, I believe it because I feel like I've gotten to know you pretty well, wouldn't you say?
A little bit, yeah.
I feel like you're not a monster, but I do feel like maybe you would cover for someone you love.
Oh, I had all the wrong ideas when I was younger, though, sure. I used to be a monster. I used to think it was normal in my mind, like, hey, man. Then when I was a kid, I used to think, man, everybody steals, the government steals, everybody does wrong. So I thought it was okay for me to steal. No, it's not. I used to do all kinds of stupid shit when I was younger. And I got busted for that. But, since I've got to know the commandments, it's against the commandments to steal.
Yeah.
But in my younger mind, I didn't know any better. I don't know.
I think we all get that way.
Well, yeah, we all make mistakes when we're younger. We do. All I know is I've been working my ass off all these years to support my family, never ask for anybody's help, trying to raise my beautiful kids. And now everybody's, the public's trying to say God done something to my daughter. And all I want to say is, fuck you. That's all I got to say to them. Fuck you. That's all I got to say to the public anymore. I'm done with them.
Yeah.
They don't know the truth from a lie. That's the truth. They don't know the truth from a lie.
Yeah.
They want to believe Chris McDonough, but they don't want to believe the truth. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Me and Benny was talking about that earlier. It's like watching a zombie show, but it's spiritual, not physical, but spiritual. It's the truth. It's the absolute truth. We're watching this big zombie show that Satan has control over these people. There's very few that know the love of God. Very few. And it's just this actual zombie show, but in true life, but you can't see it in the physical realm. It's spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the people just would rather believe a lie than the truth. It's crazy, but it's true. It's absolutely the craziest thing you've ever seen in your life, but the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And God has said it all along. I mean, the war in heaven, when Satan decided, did you know that Satan was the most beautiful and most talented and gifted angel of all?
I did know that, yeah.
Yeah, he's a rock and roll star.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful in every way and talented in every musical way. And he thought he was better than everybody else. God created him and made him that way. I think God knew what was going to happen. He's seen it coming.
Where's Candus?
Oh, she's asleep.
Aw. Have you been out looking again?
No, we can't even go out and look.
Are they going to let Echo Search back, I think?
Motherfuckers want to turn it around like, what are you doing in my neck in the woods and this and that? It's all dangerous and shit because motherfuckers in the world want to say that we did something to our own child. They're fucking the world. Oh man, I'm sorry, I shouldn't be cussing.
Okay.
Hell with. I mean, I guess I can't say that. I guess I can't say that.
You can say whatever you want to say. Do you think it's easier to believe in like a lie is easier to believe than truth?
Well, it depends on what side of the war you're on. Because it's a war. I mean, yeah, it's way easier to believe a lie. Most people want to believe a lie because Satan has control over them and their hearts. They have a heart of stone. I mean, you just gotta look at the Bible. I mean, it's all there. It's crazy, but it's true. It seems like a dream, but it's for reals.
So I want to ask you something. One last time, and I'll believe whatever you tell me. But since Candace is sleeping, you know that she's lied to you before.
Oh yeah. What woman hasn't, or man?
Yeah, but do you really? This is true. Men and women lie, but
it ain't just women; it's men too.
do you think that her or your mother-in-law was capable of anything and lying to you, Don? Like, that's what I'm worried. Like, that's where I'm.
Of course, they freaking lied, just like I've lied.
But would they hurt Summer and then lie to you?
No.
And you wouldn't cover for them?
I won't cover for nobody, Sharon.
Not even Candace?
I won't even. I'll put it to you like this: I don't even cover for myself.
Yeah.
It's that simple. I'd rather be truthful and go down or whatever and make my peace with God or whatever it takes. I mean, I told her myself with my freaking stepsister, like an idiot. I can't lie. It's not in my nature. I know what? No.
Okay, so I want to say something about that. When he says, you know, I even told on myself about my sister like an idiot. That is common for like high spectrum narcissism. They will tell on themselves just a little so that, you know, people will think, well, they're honest. Look at, they're telling them on something real bad about themselves. Why would anybody do that, right? But they pick like the littlest thing. Yeah, I'll admit to what I did with Jeannie was wrong, but I'm going to deny everything else and attack her at the same time. So, I mean, there's that.
I can't even lie for my damn self. I gotta lie for anybody else.
Hey, Rachel.
Yeah, well, I just want to make sure because that's something that makes me nervous.
Yeah, well, I get that, you know, and I understand your concern, and let me tell you something. I appreciate your love because I know that you have the kind of love for my daughter like we all do, and I appreciate that. I get it.
Thank you.
Because let me tell you something. I loved her with all my heart. I really do. I mean, she's my whole world, and when I had her, I parade her around like, yeah, this little girl is my girl, and she loves me. Ha ha ha. You know, now I don't have that. Now everybody's turned against me, the whole world, except for a few. A very, very few. But yeah, hell no. Well, no. I wouldn't take up for nobody. I don't even take up for myself like that. I'd rather do the time. I'd rather do the time and work out my sentence and work it out with God than to lie. But, you know, the thing of it is, I can't lie.
Right.
I can't. I've never been able to lie for myself. I can't lie for nobody else. I'm not sure as hell I ain't gonna lie when I tell you that I love my daughter with all my heart. I wouldn't cover for nobody. No way.
Hey, Jennifer.
Just the best. I'm gonna tell you something too. If you're gonna commit a crime and you're gonna do the time, you know the best way out of prison?
No.
It's through the front door. That means you're not lying. You've done your time. You've done the right thing, and you're gonna walk out the front door a free man. It's not like you're trying to escape or lie or whatever and try to run out the back fence. That means you're telling the truth. You've done your time, and you're walking out the front door on parole or whatever. You're done. You're doing what's right. And I learned that a long time ago. You can't hide from the law. You walk out that front door. You know.
Last night, Rachel.
I would never cover. Oh my gosh.
Well, I
Just
have
the
to
thought
ask
of
you.
what people, just the thought of what crazy people are so crazy. What is wrong with people? What is wrong with you, mate? Oh, I know. Satan. My bad. I should have known that. You can't say nothing to people.
Yeah.
They don't get it. They don't understand because you know why? Because 98.7 of people, 98.7 of people want to believe a lie before they believe the truth because Satan's got them. Satan's in their life. This is so crucial. People won't see it. They're zombies. But you can't tell them nothing. You can't tell them nothing. Don't make sense to them. Nothing makes sense to them. Truth doesn't make sense to them. Only lies do.
Hey, Rihanna.
That's the only thing they understand.
Oh, I wish I could just snap my fingers and bring her home for you.
Don't we all? Don't we all? But only God can do that.
Yeah.
Only God can do that. And God has the power. He's the only one that can do something like that.
Yeah. That is true.
I'm walking up my hole, as Chris calls it. Motherfucker. He wants to talk shit about my fucking house. He don't know how long I've been working on this fucking shack. I'd like to see his punk ass get out here and lay a foundation and pour brick and frame the motherfucker in by himself with his kids and all that shit. He ain't never done no shit like that. No, he's got to get up there and lie to motherfuckers to make his money to buy his little precious little trailer and shit.
Well, he partners with Airstream. They pay him.
Really?
Yeah, he advertises that they help sponsor him or something like that. So.
Yeah, I bet he does. He's a cocksucker. That's why he's got a fucking. That's why he's got a fucking can't talk right. Because he.
Okay, again, trigger warning. This is his feelings, not mine. Yes, I'm going along with it because that's what I do.
So much dick.
Oh.
How do you think he made the fucking detective, homicide detective? Sorry, did I say that out loud? My bad.
My bad. Show.
Well, truth so fucking hurts. It's the truth, though.
I just don't want to see you get in trouble for something. I don't want to see you get in trouble for something someone else did.
It's too late for that. It's too late. I've been in trouble my whole life.
Well, I mean, for summer.
Well, you know what? Chris is trying to railroad us for our own daughter's disappearance, which we had nothing to do with. We love our daughter with all our heart. But he wants to lay the blame on us, and he wants to railroad me all he can. That's the nature of Chris. Because he's evil. That's the way he's been doing his whole life.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Well, it ain't your fault, and it's not my fault. So don't be sorry.
Well, I'm sorry that I have to ask you hard questions now, and I know you hate it.
They're not hard at all. They ain't hard. They ain't hard to figure out. He's done that his whole life. That's what he does.
Are you going to work tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm trying to. I just can't hardly function anymore.
Well, try and go get some rest, and then call me tomorrow or text me.
All I can say, you know what? All the people they want to believe a lie. You know what? Let them believe a lie. That's fine, because it don't matter what you say to them. It don't matter what you do. It just don't matter to them. You can't say nothing. There's nothing you can say. You can sit there and tell them the plain truth, and they'll be like, "Oh, we got to decipher this." That don't make sense. Oh, this is what it really means. That's how people are today. And if you
Hey guys, and whatever your thoughts are, we have victims and also his sisters, or some of them are in the chat. So please, if you are supporting what Don is saying, please be mindful. You'll get blocked if there's disrespect to his sisters in here, because they're in here listening, but they're not causing problems or anything. They're actually being very kind, even though I've been talking to the brother and giving him a platform where he's been trashing them. Also with Chris McDonough, this is coming out of his mouth. Yes, I'm laughing and going along with it, but if I'm being an asshole to him, he ain't gonna talk to me, right? So do we want him to talk? Do we not want him to talk? We all want answers. So please don't go along with what he's saying and bash Chris McDonough in the chat tonight either. I'm playing this for a reason, just to get the call out there to you guys, because I think there's several things in there that are alarming. So I'm going to continue on.
watch that video I sent you, Isaiah, let's see, Amazing Prophecies, Isaiah's, whatever. I don't know if you watched that. You should have. But Isaiah described our time perfectly. He sure did. People would rather believe a lie and call good evil and evil good. And that's where we're at.
Yeah.
That's right where we're sitting. We're in the last days. Make sure you find yourself on the right side. It's so easy just to follow along with evil, and you'll have it all. But, if it's like the few, the proud, the Marines, well,
Yeah, definitely no worries there.
if you're gonna risk your life, if you follow God and you keep His commandments, the whole world's gonna.
Amber, this is from last night when he drunk dialed me.
Against you, I promise you that. They have been.
Do you think you're gonna be the person in the end that gets in trouble for someone?
Oh, it's very possible. Yeah. Oh yeah. Because Chris the list, and all that stuff. Yeah. But you know what? I'll gladly take that fall for my daughter's life, even though I'm not guilty of it. I mean, the only thing is, I want to be here for my boys. My son misses me so bad. Mm-hmm. He couldn't let me off the phone the other day, and I'm not supposed to talk about my boys. The thing of it is Chris sit there and talk shit about my son. I said that my son has some kind of SA tendencies. I could fucking break his fucking head off for saying that. That's not right. Yeah, that's bullshit.
I didn't.
How could he say that to a precious 12-year-old boy like my son? How could he say some shit like that? What is wrong with him? Yeah. What is wrong with him to say? What kind of vendetta does he have against little boys? He's been persecuting them his whole life and sending them to prison. What is wrong with him? I was a kid when this stuff happened with my stupid, evil stepsisters. I'm not saying I'm not. Hey, don't get me wrong, Cher. I was in the wrong, but so was my stepsisters. Okay, we was playing. I mean, oh my gosh, it's bullshit. It's all bullshit. Why is he after me? I was a young kid, and now he's after my son Josie. What the hell is wrong with him? That dude's got some mental issues.
Oh, I didn't hear that. I'll go back and listen. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Was that recently?
Yeah, well, Sissy told me about it. I said, Sissy, I can't watch no more of this crap. I'm just going to take your word for it. So I could be wrong. I'm not swearing to it, but that's what she told me. That he said that, well, if I have SA problems, then Josie must have SA problems. Does something to his little sister, and so we had to do something to cover it up, blah, blah, blah. How dare him say something about my son like that? A 12-year-old boy. How could he do that? What is wrong with him? That motherfucker's gotta be from Utah, because all them Utah motherfuckers are crazy like that. That's all they can talk about. And you talk USP.
Would you cover for
That's all
your
they
son?
can. Huh?
Would you cover for your son?
Are you serious?
Well, I'm just
You know,
asking.
that is really a rude question.
I'm sorry, but would you cover? I asked you, would you cover?
No. Why would I do that? I would just take
I
it
don't
to the
think
law.
he's like 12 or 13, right? So he would.
Well, then, so why would I cover for him?
That's what I'm saying. Would he get in?
I would try to seek him help.
Yeah.
I would try to seek him help. I mean, why would you? That would be ludicrous.
Yeah.
Besides that, Summer will whoop the fuck out of him.
Yeah.
And she has many times.
I had to ask you because.
And Josie's the type of personality, I'm going to tell you straight out. Josie's the type of personality, he's a strong little boy, but he would never, ever hurt his little baby sister.
Yeah.
I've sat there and watched him take a pounding from her, like, Summer, stop. He might hit me, and it might take me on, or somebody to his side, but his little sissy, hell no.
Yeah.
For any motherfucker who thinks any difference, all I got to say, and if you're recording this, which I hope you are, F you. F you. My son's got a heart of gold. I'm proud of him. There ain't no way, man. All these people conjecturing all this stuff, they're the evil ones. Or even think of such a thing. They're evil. Because they listen to Satan, they don't listen to God. I think it's bullshit.
Yeah.
I think it's such bullshit, man. All you gotta do is look at all the pictures I posted on Facebook. Pictures tell 1,000 words. And right there it is. So every one of my kids are happy. They're awesome kids, every damn one of them. You know? How dare they judge our family? They need to judge their own families because they come up with some crazy ass stuff. They're the ones evil.
That is.
Come up with all this evil stuff. Oh, shit. They're the ones that need to be looking in the mirror.
Yeah. That is true. Oh my God.
Just look at the pictures I posted. I posted every picture I had in the hopes of finding Summer, and everybody turned it into something evil. How dare they? How dare they?
People were selling candles with Summer's picture on it?
Yeah. Benny shut that. No, not Benny, but Sissy. No, wait, who was that? A friend of ours shut that down.
Yeah, I threatened her yesterday too. I said all the money better either go to EquiSearch or something, but you need to cease like all.
I wouldn't send crap to. I wouldn't send shit to EquiSearch because all they are is some glorified searchers that just come out here and party it up and go to the lake and swim. They don't do shit.
Wait,
what have they done? EquiSearch? What have they done? Tell me, what have they done?
Didn't you want them to come back? Aren't they coming back?
Well, yeah, but not when they're trying to benefit off the money. That's all they want is you send them money. That's all they're all about is money. It's like everybody else has come out here. Send me money. Just like all of them. That's all they want. That's all they're here for is the show. Oh, send us money. Well, they stay in fine hotels, drink it up, party, and go to the fucking lake. They ain't done a fucking thing. None of them. Now, don't get me wrong. I know the police, they have got out here and searched, and some of these people like that, but EquiSearch, they're full of shit. They ain't done nothing. The only time we've seen them was at one lake and then another lake, and whatever, and blah, blah, blah. They ain't, boots on the ground, that's bullshit. Boots on the ground to the fucking bar, maybe.
Oh, shit. I didn't never hear that before.
Well, now you have.
I have.
Well, yeah, that would be freaking awesome to live the life they got. Brand new, nice homes and everything, and all this bullshit. They're all talk. I'll call them out. I've already called them out once.
Oh, shit. Well, they're coming back, I think, right?
Nah, I doubt that. Not unless the money's right. And what they do with that money, they ain't give a fuck about Summer.
So, okay, because there's rumors going around. I believe they're accepting donations to come back out.
Exactly my point. Accepting donations.
And LE hasn't, or law enforcement hasn't okayed that yet?
Well, I don't know why they would. They're just here for the party.
Yeah. Oh, but.
Hell, I wouldn't want their asses out here just to party up. What good are they doing? They ain't done shit.
Hey, Bubbles.
They're just fucking all talk.
Hey, Van.
Just like all the rest of them. All of them. All of them. I can almost say all of them except for a very few that actually care.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can count them on one hand. Everybody else has turned out to be the real monsters. They want to call me a monster. Be in my shoes, I can show you some freaking predators.
Yeah, your neighbors with them.
Huh?
I said your neighbors.
My neighbors?
Or wherever they are, the lights or whatever.
Oh, the lights? Ooh. Well,
do you even think that she's in Tennessee anymore at this point?
I don't know. I don't know where she's at. All I know is they better pray to God I don't get a hold of them. They better pray I don't get a hold of them.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck Equisearch and everybody else. They don't give a fuck. None of them motherfuckers give a fuck. But if they better pray I don't get a hold of them.
Right.
I'll tell you that. If I find out and I know where she's at, they better pray.
See, that's what people need to hear from you, Don. That's what people need to hear from you.
Yeah, well, they don't care what I say. They don't care about the truth.
Some people.
It doesn't matter what I say, or you say, or anybody else.
Yeah.
Or they would rather believe a lie.
Yeah.
Like I say, 97.9% or 98.8%. I don't know. Somewhere in there. It's not good, sure. It's getting bad, and more and more people fall away from the church. They just don't care no more. And the more people fall away from the church, the more evil this world becomes. It's getting worse every day. You better pray that you can get your kids involved in the right church, the remnant church.
I wonder if there is one.
Sad.
I didn't even look at it.
There is a remnant church. But it's going to get real hard for them. It's going to get bad, and they're going to be persecuted. So, if you want to get involved with them, you can expect to be persecuted like I am, and on your way to prison and everything else.
Are you on your way to prison? No.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe not. But it might come down eventually to your life. Reals. Are you ready for that? Most people aren't. Most people will turn away from God rather than have their life taken.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to get that bad in the end. Maybe not right now. Maybe God will turn everything around for right now. I think this whole show is just a show of how it's going to be in the end days. It's just a wake-up call. Yeah. And this whole show is just a show. I hope it is. I hope God will return my daughter. But only God can do that because nobody else knows where she's at. Only God does.
Yeah.
The cops don't know. Nobody knows. No YouTuber. Nobody. I don't know. I can't believe it. I've already went down to the lights twice since I talked to him the first night, and he won't answer his door. I went to the meth house.
Okay, the lights are somewhat neighbors. It's a family who have all been in trouble for kiddie porn and things like that. Yeah. So they do have a past, and I can't remember. Babe, is it Frank or Fred that's registered? I think it's Frank. I don't know. I think he's on the computer. Oh, so watch for hubby's comment because he knows. I think it's Frank is the registered, or they might both be registered. Anyways, they've both been to prison anyways for kitty porn and stuff, and it happens to be Don's neighbors.
Bust the door in and fight every motherfucker there. When they just opened the door and let me in, I got a good long talk to them. I says, don't you fuck with me, don't you lie to me. Fucking tell me what's up. And he's like, man, we don't know. The fucking meth heads ain't gonna call the cops. That's one thing I got going for me if I go to a meth house. I ain't scared. I grew up in the streets in Houston. I've been in Dallas where Benny's at. They used to take me to the drunk tank every night. My wife would start a bunch of shit with me. And like, gosh damn, dude, we gotta take you to the drunk tank at least. I'd be sober, taking care of drunks for 12 hours, and they fucking throw me out on the street. I had to find my way home. Like, you motherfuckers. You know how it is. Been to Dallas County Jail a few times. And I was raised in jails. And I fucking loved it. That's the problem. I freaking loved it. That's weird. That's the way I was raised. I used to love the city jail in Houston. I don't know why. Freaking the old black women cook them big old meals. Freaking, I mean, the best food ever. But, yeah. It's crazy, but it's true.
All right, do me a favor, because I gotta go to bed, but do me a favor.
Yeah.
Don't talk to anybody tonight.
Oh, I won't.
Get some rest.
But he did.
Go to work.
Right.
Figure out what you want to do or say tomorrow. If anything, text me right now when we hang up with what county you'll be in Utah so I know where to look for you in case anything crazy happens.
You need to get a hold of my crazy stepsisters.
Which ones? Oh.
All of them. What the fuck?
Well, I don't
Why
want to do that.
Why they charges 40 years later?
We can't do that.
Fuck. Chris McDonough just don't want nobody talking to him to fucking try to sway them and do something else. That's all that is.
Yeah.
Because he's a little bitch.
Don't talk to them, Don. Don't talk to them. Even if they call you or text you, don't reply to them. It's a setup. You know that. Don't talk to them. Okay?
Well, they've already set me up something. I love her with all my heart. I really do. I mean, she's my whole world, and when I have her, freak her. I don't know. They can't prove nothing. I mean,
all right, do me a favor, because I gotta go to bed, but do me a favor. Don't talk to anybody tonight.
Oh, I won't.
Get some rest. Go to work.
Right.
Figure out what you want to do or say tomorrow. If anything, text me right now when we hang up with
KT. I don't really. The thing is I knew he was talking to several other people. I just said it to him, just like, don't call your sisters. It's a trap. Like, I'm just really telling him, like, don't frickin' bother your stepsisters. Leave them alone. Again, maybe you weren't listening, but I know what I'm doing here. Can't be an asshole to him and have him talk. So people really need to open up their minds a little more if you actually think I'm believing this bullshit.
What county you'll be in Utah so I know where to look for you in case anything crazy happens.
You need to get a hold of my crazy stepsisters.
Which ones? Oh.
All of them. What the fuck?
Well, I don't want to do that.
Why they charges 40 years later?
We can't do that.
Fuck. Chris McDonough just don't want nobody talking to him to fucking try to sway them and do something else. That's all that is.
Yeah.
Because he's a little bitch.
Don't talk to them, Don. Don't talk to them. Even if they call you or text you, don't reply to them. It's a setup. You know that. Don't talk to them. Okay?
Well, they've already set me up. I don't know. They can't prove nothing. I mean, I don't know. I think my stepsister's only about 3 years difference from me, and they keep saying it's way more than that, but I don't think so. Because I remember when I was a little kid, I wasn't even in school. I was like 4 years old when she was like 1 year old. It's all BS. See, my stepsister, my stepmom was my babysitter, and then she became my stepmom.
Yeah, I heard that. And she was married, and your dad was married, and then the babysitter and
Well,
got together.
them texts I sent you the other night about Russ, Rick, and JR. JR molested my daughter. Okay?
Margie?
Yep. And then Russ pretty much raped my sister when we were kids. And he's maybe a year or two older than me. I knocked him out in the driveway one time. I didn't knock him out, but I knocked him back. And then, Rick, Jeannie decided she just wanted to sleep with him one night when she was like 13. And they had their little sexual deal or whatever, and he was like way older. He could be charged.
Is she charging him too?
Oh, they could. They surely could. My sister could charge Russ. Jeannie don't want to admit that she's a little hoe. And JR tried to molest my daughter, and it wasn't that far back. There could be all kind of charges brought up. But, we don't try to do that shit. Like my fucking poor daughter's been raped several times by people. My daughter was raped by my first wife's son. As soon as she turned 18, he raped her on her 18th birthday.
Jesus.
Yeah, because he knew once she turned 18, there wasn't a whole lot she could do about it or whatever. On her 18th fucking birthday. Pretty crazy. There was things she could do, but she didn't go crying. She don't go crying and for all attention and blah, blah, blah. She dealt with it. I got to give my daughter props on that. I mean, not like to say that, it was right or anything. I'm not trying to say that. Just, I don't know. It hurt her. I couldn't be there. I wasn't there. Nothing I could do about it. And her real mother, just like, well, let's, whatever. But I don't know. Kind of crazy, but it's true. It's true. If anything, I'm gonna tell you, Cher. If anything, I am the victim of that step family. My real sister, Heidi, she can't even talk. She can't even be around them because she was hurt so bad because they just left her for nothing. They just abandoned my real sister, just like my dad abandoned me. My step family, they just kind of took over. My stepmom just kind of took over my dad. This ain't no shit. When I was 6 years old, I drove my dad's truck, an 18-wheeler, from LA to Utah. I drove his truck all the time as a little kid. A little kid driving a freaking 18-wheeler, which I didn't mind. I wanted to help my dad. I felt so big. I felt so important. I slept a lot. When we get to our destination, Dad would be so tired from driving, so I could stay awake. But I would unload we was hauling doubles, so I would unload 2 sets of doubles, or 1 set of doubles, which would be 2 trailers, okay? I would unload the sandwiches all night, and I would wake my dad up, like, Dad, they're unloaded, you pick up them other trailers, let's go. And he'd be like, holy shit, really? I'm like, hell yeah, let's go. And we'd go across the Sierra Nevadas, it was dangerous back then. All 2-lane. Now it's like fucking 10-lane. Whatever, But Yeah, we got freaking.
You guys, he has other kids. Please don't say the name. I don't think, maybe it does come up. I think I asked him if it, please don't keep repeating it. But yes, he has more kids from a different marriage before Candace.
Trailer catch on fire. Oh, yeah, I remember all of that. And, dangerous, but let me go back to Utah. And Dad would haul back bags of cross tops, big bags of cross tops. I still tell him about that. So I ain't never hauled no damn tow back when it was legal, you know. He still denies it. But I remember, yeah, he'd give me about, you know, a couple, 2 or 3 of those just because he'd be lonely, and I'd sit up for hours and talk to him for hours.
Aww.
Yeah, but then my stepmom come along, and it was all over after that. It was all over. They just kind of abandoned us kids, and my dad was all about her kids. He would try to impress her by loving her kids, throwing us to the freaking dogs. And it was bad for me, but it was even worse for my little sisters. It was so bad that my Sonya went back to my mom, to my stepdad that was molesting her, because that was better than freaking being with my dad.
Listen, Don, you know I'm live right now because you're watching. Please stop calling me. Let me finish this. I told you it's a bad idea to contact me until you go to the police and do the right thing. I said I will continue writing you no matter what and give you that human interaction. You have to do the right thing for me to still have contact with you. You're not even answering simple little questions. Whose name is the Subaru under? Because it's not yours and Candace. Here we go with the call.
That's pretty sad. That's the truth.
Yes, he called me twice in a row. Don, stop, please. I've given you all of the fair opportunities out there. Just, you're not being honest. You're not. There's nothing I can do for you when you're not being honest and you want to attack people, and people in the chat are even saying, how many times has he even brought Summer up? It doesn't happen, Don. There's problems, and it's more than just your past. You asked me why. I told you. I laid it out. I wrote you one of the longest texts I've ever written in my life so I could spell it all out for you. Please listen, because you know, with all of the manpower that they've put into this in 3 months, all the money that's been spent, they are going to prosecute you to the fullest extent. So if you are covering for somebody, you need to go and tell the truth yesterday, 3 months ago, please. Now I'm going to finish this call. I know you're upset that I'm showing this. I'm sorry. But in the end, I want your daughter home. Period.
They have dominated. My step family has dominated and fucking my dad over in every way. And my stepmom, my dad would bring home the check, give it to my stepmom, and she'd just hand it out to her kids.
What? Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. And Jeannie sits there and brags, and McDonough's bragging about how successful Jeannie was raising her kids and blah, blah, blah. She didn't raise her kids. My dad and my stepmother raised her kids while she was out doing whatever she wanted to do. She didn't raise her kids, and neither did Trish. My dad and my stepmom raised Trish. You know, Jeannie didn't. Hell no. Hell to the freaking no. Well, hell no. Well, that's just the truth. And me, they kept me in and out. I mean, I'm not gonna blame them. I was raised in jails. Every county jail there was across America. That's where I was raised. That's just the truth. I mean, I didn't know no better. I didn't know how to stay out of jail. But anyways, I'll let you go. I don't mean to take up all your time.
No, it's okay. I'm glad you called. And
yeah, heck yeah.
Well, text me where you're going to be in Utah. Where is it called in Utah? Where would you go if they came and got you?
I'll go to Utah. Believe me, if they take me to jail, it'll be a vacation.
It'd be a vacation. Oh, Jesus.
You think I care about them people in there? Hell no, man. I'm institutionalized. You think that really bothers me? The only thing that bothers me is my kids are going to be the ones that suffer. That's the fucked up part.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'll go in there and I'll fuck every one of them up, whatever. I don't care. I'll go in there and fucking lay out in the sun every day and work out, eat good food. I don't give a fuck about them people in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that I'm not the one they're hurting. They're hurting my kids. That's where they got it all fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm institutionalized already.
Shit.
Oh, and so it's my boys that's going to suffer, not me. My daughter's already suffering wherever she is. I hope not. I hope some rich person has her that's taking really good care of her. But it's unlikely, though.
Yeah.
I don't know who's got her. I wish for God we knew.
Yeah.
Whoever's got her, if I find out, it's not going to be good. I will be going to prison then.
As you should,
yeah. And you think I'd fucking hide any motherfucker, my wife or anybody else? Hell no.
No.
I'm standing up for my wife because I know she loved her and she would never do anything to hurt my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm standing up for my wife.
But you understand why I had to ask you, right?
Well, yeah, I get that because that's the way the world thinks, you know. They all are freaking nuts. And I don't care what you tell them, you ain't going to change their mind because they're stupid. They're evil. They're stupid as freaking hell. You can't change their mind. No matter what you say, it ain't going to change their mind. I figured that out already.
Well, go get some rest. Don't talk to a bunch of strangers.
Good talking to you.
You too.
Oh, hell no.
Don't go talk to Denise.
Oh,
don't go talk to a bunch of people. Just go relax. Go lay down.
I get that. I appreciate you, Sherry. You have a good night, okay?
You too.
Good talking to you.
You too.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, actually, earlier on in the call, he said, I really wish you were recording it. I mean, I don't care anymore at this point. Since for the last week, I haven't cared. I've been recording everything since I had to start bringing things to law enforcement. So, again, if you don't like it, I'm not sure why you're here. You had to subscribe to even chat in here for at least 5 hours. So, thank you. If you don't like it, there's lots of other channels, and I can't win. Like Daylon said, if we edit out things, you get pissed. We don't edit whatsoever with this. Still get pissed. Now I want to instead of making a plea to people who have summer, I'm going to make a plea to Don, and it's going to be actually pretty much what I texted him. Don, it is in your best interest to not have contact with me. I will answer your calls. I will text you back. But I am going to be recording calls in case there's something that I feel is important that could help law enforcement find your daughter. And I told you in the text message, and I begged you, if you are covering for somebody, tell it. There's something, if you didn't hurt Summer, you know more, and that's my feelings. And I told you why, and I'm not going to lay it all out here, but I spelt it out for you exactly why I felt the things that I feel. It's not just your past. It starts with even the 911 calls between you and your wife don't add up. It starts with you are off by an hour, which, you know, we can see, but it also with different coworkers saying different things. It also is law enforcement isn't doing anything. They're squashing certain rumors, but not squashing any rumors that could clear you and your wife. It's because, well, your wife and your mother-in-law were the last people that we all know as the world to see with your daughter. It is also because I feel like you are too focused on attacking your sisters instead of worrying about your daughter. Even if they're filing charges, whatever they're doing, that shouldn't stop you from being out looking for your daughter. And you're not doing that. And you're not calling law enforcement all the time like I would be. You're just, in my opinion, you two aren't acting right. Even if you are covering for anybody, I feel you know more. I'm doing the best thing in telling you, and I told you guys, and I don't care what anyone says. I told you from day one, do the right thing. I will still give you that human contact. I will write to you. I have JPay because I talk to lots of inmates. I will write to you. I will take your phone calls. But I will not do any of those things if you don't do the right thing. I won't. I've given you the platform for 5 weeks now, and you've done nothing but bash your family and try to hurt your sisters. And in that 5 weeks, I've been lashed and bashed myself just for giving you a voice. You told me today that you cared about me just a little, then you will do the right thing and confess. Mr. Share won't even talk to you or accept your friend request because things are not adding up. And 99% of the people know he is pretty reasonable and was even on your defense, but things are not adding up because you're lying, you're playing games, you're worried about $1,000,000 ideas. Do you have anything to say, baby? Because you know he's listening. No comment. I feel like maybe it's heavy enough he will do the right thing, because I'm sorry, again, hearing the fight between you and Candus, Don, because I know you're listening, and her being so afraid that I've called the police on you guys. It doesn't make sense, because all I did was have you on a live stream. You were on a live stream answering questions. You can't go to jail for that. So what was the concern that I was turning you in for? What? Candace is worried that you don't talk to me, or that you talk to me, and is worried of you talking to people. Really doesn't want you to talk to people. Yes, that could be looked at as hella smart, or it can be looked at as she's afraid you're going to slip something when you're drinking and smoking. I don't know. I don't even know what to think anymore. But in my heart, you know more than you're saying, whether you're involved in actions that got Summer took or whatever. I believe you know more. Answer me the question. If you're going to text me at all, answer me the question. Just the one question. Whose name is the Subaru in? And remember, I ask questions sometimes that I already know the answers to. Stop attacking your sisters and make this about Summer again. You say no one's had it about Summer. Everyone's just been worried about donations the entire time. Okay, change it then, Don. Make it back about Summer. Make it about Summer. I honestly don't even know what else to say. Please go and do the right thing. I don't care if it's your wife, your mother-in-law. I don't care if it was all three of you. If you believe in God like you say you do and like you talk, you know you need to go and do the right thing, or he's not going to accept you, Don. You don't try and rush somewhere before TBI gets somewhere for a tip of where your daughter might be. I get people in their head are like, yeah, but you would want TBI to get there first, right? I just feel like everything has been wrong. And I've tried to give you a fair shot. I've been honest with you in my feelings, but it doesn't get anywhere. It just keeps circling back to wanting to attack Jeannie, Mary, and Trish. And I just cannot keep allowing that anymore. I've done it. I've done it like so many times, and I don't like doing it. And it's not fun for me, and it's not fair to these women. But enough is enough. You have to do the right thing. You have to. If you believe in God and the Bible and he is so cool, like you tell me, you have to go and do the right thing. So I'm pleading to you, Don, is to just do the right thing no matter who you think is involved. Go in there because you know more. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm sorry for my evil way of thinking. But it's my gut feeling from the last 5 weeks of talking to you that you know more, or you're protecting somebody, which in the end means you know more.
There we go, guys. She just raves on towards the end of it for another 5 minutes, I think, pleading for Don to go to the authorities. Like, you can really see him. Like, I was visualizing Don going, okay, Cher, I'll go and do that right now, because then you'll keep writing to me. Because I love you, Cher. Can you see that? Just before I go, guys, I was sitting here thinking about Ziggy's video, and I'm going to listen to it again in the morning, but there was a bit in there where she touched on where the boys are now, and when she was explaining that the two younger ones are together, but the older boy is in a different place. When she was talking about that bit, she said that there's been a family member cleared to have the boys. Did anyone else catch that? Yeah, I'll pop it in. It's already in the description, Lisa. I put it in there when I scheduled the live. Wouldn't it be interesting if the family members were Jeannie or Mary and they ended up having the boys? Just a thought. Because what other family members? Grandis obviously can't take the boys because she's not capable. Like, the only decent people in this scenario seems to be Jeannie and Mary and Trish. So I wonder if they're the family members that have put their hand up, and because I don't think they'll be going home anytime soon, especially after this prank call they've done. And maybe Penny can help me. There has to be a way, because in that call, in that video Ziggy just did, sorry guys, I'm getting really tired, it's after midnight. Ziggy also said that the source said, my God, that there is an emergency court hearing scheduled to address Don discussing the boys. And I found that bit really interesting too. So he's been told by the last court hearing that there is a gag order in place and he is not to discuss the boys. So this is my thoughts on this little tidbit right here. Maybe Cher has been recording all his phone calls, although she denied it for weeks and weeks and weeks. And maybe she has recorded all the phone calls, and she said she's given everything to TBI, and maybe they've passed it along to CPS because he's been talking to Cher and the recordings are on her phone about the boys. So he's breached that. It's just a theory. I'm happy to email Cher and ask her if I'm right. She probably won't answer me though. She doesn't like me much anymore. But I wasn't nasty to her. I just say what I think about some of her videos. I could be wrong. Yeah. I tune her out now, but I've had the weirdest feeling from Cher in my other videos from when she first got into this mess with Don, I said in the very first one, there is something more going on with this woman. It's not just about clicks and views. I feel there's something else. And I could be wrong too. It's just, I don't know. It's just something that gnaws away at me. And this flip-flopping thing is just beyond the universe. Yeah, I think so too, Shell. But Donald doesn't have any other family around Kingsport and Beach Creek and all that area, from what I can gather. I'm going to look into that. And AB is taking care of it. Yeah, but even with AB, shares are over on their channel now, virtually saying that AB is mentally abusing her because he's a male and she's a female. But it's okay for her to throw the abuse at every other correct. Oh, this is when she was on the other side of the fence too, guys. We were all haters and, you know, we were all the bad guys on the other team. That's when she was defending Don. But then she come back over the fence and she's on people's panels and throwing Don under the bus for everything else. Then yesterday, she was chummy with Donnie again. And today they're broken up again. Like it's worse than a teenage romance. Honestly. But hopefully these charges from CPS will get them both behind bars to begin with, and then we can work on the rest. Because I think once one of them is hot and heavy with law enforcement, they have to crack, like seriously. I've nearly cracked over this. And I haven't done anything. And I haven't hurt anyone. So how can they lie down at night and sleep? Yeah, she is weird. And initially, you know, I was like everyone else and just thought she was after, you know, subscribers and all the rest of it. But yeah, it's like someone's directing her now, if that makes sense. Like someone saying, do this, do that. Because she's too all over the place to be orchestrating this shit by herself. I think law enforcement are telling her what conversations to have with Don to see what responses he gives and have it recorded and bring him down. I don't know. I could be wrong, guys. I would like to know the story of Candus's brother. Well, apparently he's been out for quite a while in an... It's not assisted living. You know, like a house where they're monitored 24/7 in the community? Apparently he's been in one of them for 3 years. So I don't know whether it means he moves out of that facility and into a unit of his own or something. Yeah, I know it's about money. But I still think there's more to it. Yeah, well, I don't know much about how these facilities work, Myri. If you listen to Don, you're allowed to go to the best restaurants and gallivant around as long as you're home by 7 o'clock at night. Halfway home. She's helping him plant flowers. That's gold, Jennifer. I love that. Okay, guys, I'm getting really tired. But share is just weird altogether, yes. I better get off here and go and have a little nap. Sharon, I think you're kind of right, as Cher put her foot in about needing to bring all her stuff to law enforcement. I was right about their visit to the police station that night on a Saturday night. I said it wasn't about Predator Hunter Nation, and then she come on and said it was she talked about them, but the main thing was they were there because of Don and Candus. I don't know. There's been a few things I've called her out on, and it's been true. So don't you think it's too weird to she's just making all these decisions daily differently? It's like someone is in the background saying, no, do this, do that, get him to talk about this or that. I think Chris M post scared the poop out of Cher. I hope so. So she's, the way I listen to that, so she thinks because she's flirting and she thinks he's formed a love interest type relationship with her. So she thinks she's going to use that flirtation and the bond she thinks is there to get him to go to law enforcement. And by pleading with him to go to law enforcement, she must think that he's going to carry through with that. But this is the mind of that sort of guy. Like he's playing the game with every single person that's in his life. And she hasn't worked that part of it out yet? Yeah, okay, sure. It's like two game players, two magnets pushing together. You know, they're never going to connect if, you know, the two opposite ends of a magnet, how they won't go together. That's what it reminds me of. Hope you are safe and well there in Aussie. Love you, Kiwi cousin. Aww. Yeah, we come out of lockdown 10 minutes ago, guys. So that is so cool. I can go to the shops tomorrow. We can go to the park and I can go and buy fabric. I don't know what part Don and Cher don't understand. If he can't understand her, Cher can't understand her either. It's third-party contact. Yeah, that's so true. But I don't... You know how Candus flipped out last week when he was on the phone to Cher when they were at work? Why? See, that didn't make sense to me either. Why is it now okay with Candus that she's talking to Don again? You know, there's just so many like little layers that just don't make sense whatsoever. Sorry, I missed most of this. How did she get this information? She won't reveal where she got the information or who it's from, but she said it's 100% fact, what, like, from the video, it's obvious it's come from a CPS worker, in my opinion. And I could be wrong about that as well. But, yeah, the information that's there is about the boys' welfare and all that sort of thing. So, yeah, it's a lot to think about. But so many of the things are exactly what everyone else has been thinking. And hopefully there are really charges coming soon. And how ironic is it that Candus, if all that information is 100% fact, and she has been having a sexual relationship with H, then, wow, she is going to be away for quite a while, a very long time. I'll have to look into what the charges would be and how long they're for. If she's proven guilty. It's just so sad for them kids. Like, I don't. Can you imagine though, honestly, 9, 11 and 12-year-old boys, if allegedly this is fact, that mum is kissing and being affectionate, openly affectionate, with another young boy in their presence. And this comes back, guys, the very, very, very first live I ever did is right at the beginning of this case. And if you go back and have a look, there's a video I played. So it's a music clip of a video that I found on Candus's Facebook page, and she liked and shared the video clip. And it's called Way Down in the Holler, and it's by Riff Gidgen or something like that. Anyway, it's all on there, and it's about a family living in the holler, and the boy follows the dad down to the ward part of the property and sees something he shouldn't see. And when I played that video clip and watched it through, I got chills all over my body, and I thought, oh my fucking God. And I'm sorry I'm swearing, but that's exactly what I said. I nearly fell off the chair. And I thought, Candus has been doing something around that property there somewhere, and Summer's wandered down looking for her to see what she's doing, and she's heard her. That has been in my thoughts as well. But it's interesting. In the music clip, it's a little bit different of a scenario because it's the dad making moonshine in the woods, and he drinks it and comes home and gets aggro, and there's domestic DV and everything in the house and everything. He throws things across the room. And remember, in her police report, she says, oh, my husband throws things. It just all was creepy as. You have to have a look at it. Tell me in the comments, if you have a look at it, what you think, because I was blown away like Summer. It's just another theory, guys. I understand that. But Summer could have, it could have happened like that. AJ being found. What? Oh, AJ. I thought you meant little Michael Vaughan. Like, that's another case. Just disappeared. I might have to do another video on him tomorrow. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go and get a bit of sleep so I can get back at it tomorrow. Got 1 day left of homeschooling, and the little darlings go back to school on Monday. Oh, okay, Loretta. Yeah, it's a lot. As I said at the beginning, I wanted to play it from the beginning because you can actually hear the nerves and dilemma Ziggy is in with the information she's about to give out, because she's worried about the repercussions for her source if it come out who she was. And I thought that was important as well because it seemed so authentic. But take from it what you want, you know. I'm hoping it's fact and something big comes out of it, like yesterday. If only wouldn't that be awesome, Myri? I have my second COVID shot, not this Saturday, the Saturday after. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking because I could seriously sit here and keep talking all night. And I'll see you all tomorrow. And please share, like, and subscribe. I'll tell you how many subs we got now. Oh, we're at 689. So we need 311 to hit our 1,000. So yeah, if you could subscribe if you're new and give us a share and a like, that would be amazing, because I really want this community tab and to go outside and stream with you guys. And remember, you're worth it, and we'll be back tomorrow. Okay, guys, good night. Thanks for coming in.